From defenders risking their lives to the fastest players in the world, these are the 10 things you didn't know about football. And first, we've got the time Ben Mee laid down his life for his team.
And it was great for us, yeah. Absolutely superb.
That was unbelievable. That defender on the line heading that over.
His head off.
Unbelievable.
My God! Dude was willing to risk it all to block that shot. But at number 24, a defender predicted the future. During a match between Houston Dynamo and DC United, Kofi Sarkodie made 2 incredible saves just by predicting where the ball would go.
Futas the shot! Oh! Taxi magic on display.
But that's not even close to the crazy save Kyle Walker made against Liverpool. In the 2019 Community Shield Final, Mo Salah thought he had scrambled to give Liverpool the lead. But Man City's Kyle Walker came out of nowhere to do this. But as crazy as this is, it is nothing compared to the save at number 22. After his keeper had been successfully beaten, Tano Bonin turned into a back-flipping machine just to block the ball. Damn! Bro might give Spider-Man a run for his money.
Not fair.
But at number 21, a player made the greatest headed clearance in Premier League history. During a match between Man United and Arsenal, a mistimed tackle by Phil Jones gave Oliver Giroud a free run at goal. But with the defender falling to the ground, he said, I'm Phil Jones.
Giroud, I think, saw the funny side of this.
Laugh all you want. You cannot deny it is one of the greatest saves in history. Now that is just 5 of the 25 crazy saves lined up for you. Trust me, you have to see what Choupo-Moting did to his teammate at number 11. But before we get to that, let's look at the best save of the 2013 Champions League season. The build-up to the 2013 final was filled with excitement and tension. Bayern, with all its glory, was being challenged by a fearless Dortmund team. As the game started, Dortmund showed early signs of taking the lead, but eventually, Bayern showed their class as they scored the game's opener. However, a clumsy penalty given away by Dante gave Dortmund a way back into the game.
What about Dante's situation here? He's already booked. And he scores impeccably. 1-1 at Wembley. Nothing Neuer can do about that.
Then, with the match on knife's edge, Bayern thought they were about to score their second goal, only for Subotic to produce this incredible save.
Miller chasing and he's quick. Thomas Muller is round the goalkeeper. Brilliant.
But at number 19, John Stones made an even better clearance. In a match between Man City and Liverpool, a bozo moment by John Stones ended with the ball heading straight into his own net. But the defender redeemed himself with this amazing goal line clearance. This reminds me of Ben Mee's incredible sacrifice just to save a goal. After a devastating counterattack by West Ham, Felipe Anderson thought he had given the Hammers the lead. but Ben Mee rotated his neck 180 degrees just to stop the ball from going in.
Big chance here. It's not cross on for Anderson. In the box now, Anderson clips it towards goal. Oh, what a clearance from Ben Mee.
Damn! I would be on a stretcher to the hospital if I ever tried that.
No, 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 no. Hell no, no.
But the guy at number 17 defied physics while making a save. During the group stage of Euro 2016, Germany came up against Ukraine in a match many expected to be one-sided. As the game started, Germany's superiority showed as they went into the lead via a powerful header. But with the game still tight at 1-0, Ukraine thought they had gotten the equalizer, only to be denied by Jerome Boateng. While Boateng got away without a scratch, Hector Bellerin wasn't so lucky with his mind-blowing clearance. After successfully rounding the Arsenal goalkeeper, the Swansea striker thought he was about to score an empty net. But Hector Bellerin sacrificed his ribs just to make this crazy block. Ouch! I respect him for taking one for the team. But the guy at number 15 sacrificed his head just to outsmart Messi. During a match between Barcelona and Rayo Vallecano, Barcelona were awarded a free kick right at the edge of the Rayo box. With Lionel Messi standing over the free kick, Alex Moreno knew his keeper had no chance of stopping it. So when Messi ran to take the kick, he did this.
Four on the wall, Messi, and headed over the bar.
The scary part is, he was looking at the ball the whole time and almost crashed his head against the goalpost. But at number 14, an Italian defender turned into John Jones. In a match between Germany and Italy at Euro 2016, Italy's Florenzi noticed his keeper was in trouble. But in trying to position himself properly, he went a bit too far. So with Muller's shot heading straight into the net, he pulled off this crazy back heel block. I swear I've seen something like this before. Yeah, that's it. But it seems the guy at number 13 saw this save and said, I can do better. During a match between Lokomotiv and Rostov, the guys from Lokomotiv thought they had gotten the lead, only to be denied by a brilliant block from Chernov. However, seeing that the ball fell back to a Lokomotiv player, Chernov flung himself across the post to make another crazy block. This reminds me of a save so crazy, the opposing fans applauded it. In an almost identical fashion to the previous save, the Rennes player thought his chip was enough to get the ball across the line. But Bastias Matthew rushed in to spoil the party. First, he slid in to remove the ball, stood up, and ran back across the goal line to make another crazy block. He even had the Rennes supporters applauding his heroic display. But the save at number 11 had the PSG fans punching their screens. With the game between PSG and Strasbourg tied at 1-1, PSG's Nkunku thought he had given his team the lead, only to be denied by his teammates' insane block.
Well played, Alves, and Cuckoo! And Choupo-Moting has stopped it! Unbelievable! Choupo-Moting actually stopped that ball on the line!
Even Mbappe couldn't believe what he had just witnessed.
Mbappe's reaction says it all.
But I'm sure this was the PSG fans watching the match back home. But now that we're down to our top 10, we're taking saves to an insane level. Starting out with Thiago Silva's incredible save against Juventus.
Standing clearance from Thiago Silva.
After rushing into an early lead against Juventus, Chelsea were confident they would secure a win to kickstart their 2020-2021 Champions League campaign. But in the 27th minute of the game, Alvaro Morata found space. Just as he was about to celebrate, Thiago Silva put everything on the line to stop the ball from going in.
He gets the opportunity. Morata's managed to get a toe on that. What an outstanding clearance.
I'm sure Chelsea fans would love to have a defender like this right now. But at number 9, Leno turned into the hero of Leverkusen.
100% drama.
80 minutes into the match between Hoffenheim and Leverkusen, Hoffenheim, who were losing 2-0 at the time, got a lifeline via the penalty spot. But as soon as Firmino kicked the ball, it became one of the most chaotic saves in history.
With a chance to make it number 6. Saved by Leno, but he won't get to the follow-up. Oh, this is just dramatic. 100% drama.
But the guy at number 8 almost knocked himself out just to stop a goal.
Fielding makes the save.
In the semi-final of the 2018 Carabao Cup, Manchester City welcomed championship side Bristol City to the Etihad for a match everyone expected to be one-sided. However, the visitors defied the odds to go into the lead.
Claudio Bravo guesses the right way. He got a touch on it.
But as soon as they scored, Man City pushed for the equalizer via Raheem Sterling. Just as he was about to score, Aiden Flint did this. But the defender at number 7 almost broke his leg while making a clearance. With the ball destined for the net, this defender put his leg on the line just to stop it from going in.
Have a look at that. Chooses the right direction. It comes off one post. It comes off the post again.
Ouch! That must have really hurt. Thankfully, his shin guard prevented him from breaking his leg. But the guy at number 6 doesn't care about pain. He just puts his body on the line. Many young football fans might not know how good he was, but during his prime, Carles Puyol was one of the best defenders in football. Let me show you why.
Here I come.
During a match between Lokomotiv and Barcelona, a swift counterattack by the Russians sent the Barcelona keeper to buy burgers. With an empty net to tap into, Carles Puyol sacrificed his body to stop the ball from going in. For Barcelona fans, he will always remain Braveheart. But now that we're at our top 5 picks, things are about to get really scary. Starting with a defender who fought a lion?
Yourself on the pictures believing you were a lion. Is that right?
I am a lion.
You are a lion.
During a match between LA Galaxy and Atlanta United, a nicely floated ball found its way to Ibrahimovic. But as the big Swede was about to score, 3 Atlanta defenders put their bodies on the line to prevent him from scoring. But if you battle with the lion, you're bound to come out with scars. Speaking of injuries, Keylor Navas almost ended his career while making a crazy save.
He hits the post and down he goes.
It happened in a match between Malaga and Real Madrid. Madrid's goalkeeper, Keylor Navas, stretched to his right to stop a brilliant free kick by Malaga. Unfortunately for him, he collided badly with the post, which resulted in a lot of pain.
You could be a coach, Phil.
Ball blasted into the near corner. He hits the post and down he goes. Kaylor Navas sacrificing his body to preserve the lead.
Bro sacrificed his body to preserve a 1-goal lead. This reminds me of when Ter Stegen injured himself while saving a goal.
Jeremy Pino llega a tocar sin querer la zona afectada.
At the beginning of the 2024-2025 La Liga season, Hansi Flick's Barcelona visited Villarreal, hoping to continue their fine start. As the match progressed, the Barca keeper rose highest to collect a cross by a Villarreal player. But as soon as he touched the ground, it was obvious there was a problem.
El alemán solo repite dos palabras. Hasta que se ve la rodilla.
He held his spine while turning in pain. What was supposed to be a routine save turned into a battle for his life.
Y le comunican un primer diagnóstico. Para el que no hay consuelo.
The doctors quickly entered the field, and when he was taken to the hospital, Barcelona's nightmare became a reality. Ter Stegen hurt his knee and was to be sidelined for 8 months. We wish him the quickest recovery possible. But the guy at number 2 didn't even leave the field conscious. In a match between Club Brugge and KSC Lokeren, the goalkeeper expertly blocked a long-range shot by the Bruges striker. But while trying to make the save, the goalkeeper hit his head on the post and was knocked out cold. Unconscious and injured, he had to be rushed to the hospital while being applauded by the whole stadium. But now, it's time for the scariest save in football history. With Rangers already losing 2-0 to Slavia Prague, the coach brought on Kemar Roof to try and salvage something out of the Europa League clash. As soon as he entered the pitch, a cross was floated in his direction. But with his eyes firmly on the ball, he completely took out Slavia's goalkeeper with a terrible flying kick.
Good weight on that, goalkeeper commits. And Roof. Red card for Kemar Roof was...
Slavia's keeper, Kolar, required multiple stitches just to stop the bleeding on his face. After recovering, he started wearing a protective helmet just to be able to participate in games. Turning a goalkeeper into a biker is crazy, but it's nothing compared to a player who auditioned for the UFC. Starting off with a crazy moment by a low-budget Zinedine Zidane. Damn! What did he do to get him that angry? But not even the GOAT is immune from bad fouls. In a match between Real Madrid and Barcelona, Pepe pretended like he was talking to the referee, only for him to do this to Messi. It's crazy that he didn't even get a yellow for his actions. But while Messi was left with a few bruises and stitches, Xabi Alonso was fighting for his life. The hype surrounding the 2010 World Cup final was like none other. Prime Netherlands against Prime Spain for the right to be called the best in the world. With most fans dozing off, Nigel de Jong woke everyone up by doing this. How is this not a red card? At least the guy in the next clip was sent off for his absurd behavior. In a match between Brazil and the Netherlands, Felipe Melo was frustrated by his teammates' inability to break down the Netherlands' defense.
Oh, just wide.
So when Robben came close to him with his annoying tricks, he decided to do this.
Arjen Robben has had a very good game. Good here by Felipe Melo. Red card.
Ouch! Seeing someone get stepped on might be painful to watch, but one thing I know you'll want to see is a female footballer getting stamped on. During a match between England and Nigeria in the Women's World Cup, Lauren James of England was frustrated by the close attention Nigeria's Michelle Alozie was giving her. So when the two clashed again, James decided to leave a little present as she stood up.
After downfield review, red card for violent contact.
To be honest, I know a lot of guys who wouldn't mind being James's right boot in this scenario.
Nice.
But that is just 5 out of this video's 25 most absurd fouls. Trust me, you have to see Felipe Melo's UFC debut at number 16. But before we get to that, let's travel to Barcelona, where a GOAT almost lost his life. In the 2017 Champions League match between Barcelona and Juventus, Lionel Messi jumped for a header, only for Miralem Pjanic to knock him out of the sky. Messi fell so awkwardly that he immediately injured his face. Then, after the footage of his fall was reassessed by doctors, they concluded Messi was a few millimeters away from breaking his neck. So, to stop this from happening again, Barcelona signed Pjanic from Juventus.
What the hell?
I'm just messing with you. But while Messi narrowly escaped this horror, Ronaldo wasn't so lucky. When Portugal faced the Czech Republic, everyone expected a CR7-led Portugal to easily destroy its opponents. But as the game started, Portugal found the Czechs a tough nut to crack. So in a desperate attempt to score a goal, Ronaldo and the Czech Republic goalkeeper collided, leaving the Portuguese attacker with a bloodied nose.
Carvalho, and it ricochets through towards Ronaldo. Now goalkeeper came there. Free kick has gone his way.
The doctors ran onto the pitch to treat him, but his face looked like he had been in a fight. Still, he finished the game despite having 2 fractures of his nose. But while this foul got the doctors involved, the next tackle had to be resolved by the police. In a Europa League match between Rangers and Slavia Prague, any hope of the Rangers qualifying seemed unlikely when Slavia scored 2 goals.
Oh, it's a chance and a goal! Brilliantly taken!
With the match entering its final stage, the Rangers coach brought on Kemar Roof to try to improve his team's chances. But instead of scoring a goal, he did this.
And Roof has fouled the goalkeeper. Taking a heavy knock there. Kemar Roof saying he didn't see where the goalkeeper was coming. Red card! Straight red card for Kemar Roof was...
Bro completely knocked out the goalkeeper, leaving him battling for dear life. After the match, the Slavia Prague team decided to lodge a criminal complaint against him through their embassy. But if we're being honest, getting the police involved was a bit excessive. However, this wasn't the only time police were called to resolve a bad tackle. During a match between Manchester City and Portsmouth, Ben Thatcher and Pedro Mendes ran toward a well-defended corner kick. But instead of winning the ball, Thatcher decided to do this.
Yeah, that's got to be on the brink of a red. Because the ball's gone and he's come through late.
He swung his hands and knocked Mendes out cold. It got so bad, the doctors had to rush onto the field to resuscitate him. But amazingly, Thatcher only received a yellow card for one of the most horrifying challenges in football history. Seeing that he wasn't punished on the pitch, fans reported the matter to the police, who then launched a criminal investigation into his tackle on Mendes. But as crazy as this story is, it is nothing compared to a player auditioning for the UFC. This happened in a heated match between Inter and Lazio. Losing 2-1 and already a man down, Felipe Melo decided he had had enough of the game. So, to go for an early shower, he decided to do this. I swear I've seen this somewhere before. Yeah, that's it right there. Seems like bro was in the wrong profession. Just like Virgil van Dijk, who turned into a butcher. Van Dijk might be one of the best defenders in history, but his slide tackle against Martens was horrifying. Damn! Well, I felt a cold shiver run down my spine watching that in slow motion. This reminds me of the time Carvalho almost ended Ronaldo's career. During the 2008 Champions League final, Manchester United, led by Cristiano Ronaldo, came up against a solid Chelsea team, led from the back by Carvalho. The funny thing is that these two players are Portuguese national teammates. But as soon as the match started, Carvalho showed zero regard for his countrymen by doing this. He almost broke Ronaldo's leg, but still had the nerve to complain. The only thing worse than this is David Luiz getting brutalized for no reason. His ordeal started in a 2013 FA Cup semi-final against Man City. Despite Chelsea losing 2-1, Man City's Sergio Aguero decided to dropkick David Luiz without provocation.
By Sergio Aguero, there might be some afters there.
To the shock of many, Aguero escaped without a card after obviously trying to hurt Luiz. And since he got away with that one, he figured, why don't I do it again? So when the two teams faced each other again in 2016, Aguero decided to do this.
He's been isolated in there quite a few occasions, but he's worked ever so hard for the team. Little bit Aguero, oh dear.
But this time, the Chelsea players and referee said enough was enough. He was given a red card, and after the FA reviewed the incident, they banned him for 4 matches. However, the next absurd foul was made by one of the nicest players in the Premier League. During a match between Tottenham and Everton, Son was tracking down his opponent when one of the worst injuries in football happened. Gomez's foot turned in the other direction, leaving Son and everyone else in the stadium shaken. So in the next game, Son scored 2 goals and refused to celebrate out of respect.
Didn't want to celebrate because I just want to respect those situations, and of course I still feel really sorry about this situation, and it's been really tough days, tough few days, and I said before, I realize how lucky I am. The people around me, the supporters, the club, and the coaching staff, the players, teammates, they helped me really a lot and give me so much strong message. And of course, I wish still Andre Gomez get well soon and best wish. And yeah, but it's the right answer to keep working hard for me and try to perform like always and with with positive energy. I think this is most important.
In our darkest moments, our characters truly shine. Just like the next player, who still smiled despite losing his teeth. In a match between AZ and PSV, AZ defender Pantelis went up for a header and came down without his front teeth.
Duel. Mitoglu, de linker elleboog in het gezicht bij Hatsidiakos. Duel.
The crazy part is that his teeth were packed in a plastic bag, but bro continued playing the game. And with that, we've made it to our top 10. This means we're about to take things to a whole new level. Starting off with football's first documented vampire. It all began in 2010 when the PSV and Ajax players argued over a foul. Luis Suarez, playing for Ajax then, decided to bite his opponent unprovoked. As a punishment, he was given a 7-match suspension. But after 3 years, Suarez felt the need to sharpen his teeth again and chose to do so on the arm of Chelsea's Ivanovic. This time, he was given a 10-match suspension as a complimentary bonus. But just 1 year later, the demons came back, this time in the 2014 World Cup.
And he headbutted him there, didn't he? Luis Suarez appeared to move his head.
Did Suarez apologize?
Of course not. He behaves in a way, and FIFA allows him to do so because they need the champions to play. They don't have the courage to make the right decisions.
After this incident, FIFA said enough and suspended him from all football-related activities for 4 months.
Luis Suarez is suspended for 9 matches and banned for 4 months from any football-related activity.
But as crazy as this is, it's nothing compared to what happened to John Terry. When Chelsea clashed with Arsenal in a fiery North London derby, everyone expected the game to be intense, but no one envisioned it would turn into a life-or-death situation. Just after halftime, John Terry, eager to help his team win, went in fully to head a corner kick, only to get knocked out cold. He swallowed his tongue, and for 5 long minutes, everyone feared the worst would happen. But thankfully, the doctors were able to stabilize him until he was rushed to the hospital. While on the way, he woke up in the ambulance and couldn't remember anything that had happened. But I'm sure the memories of the 2006 World Cup final are still fresh in Materazzi's heart. The 2006 World Cup final was one of the most highly anticipated football matches in history. 2 great teams, France and Italy, came face to face for the ultimate prize. As the match started, Zidane gave France the lead via a penalty. But just a few minutes later, Italy equalized via a header from Marco Materazzi. With the game heading for a penalty shootout, Zidane walked past Materazzi and this happened. It was poetic that the 2 goal scorers in the game were involved in this controversy. But many wondered what made Zidane react that way in the last big match of his career. A few months later, Zidane revealed that Materazzi spoke badly about his sister. so he had no option but to defend her honor.
Une fois vous essayez de partir, c'est ce que je fais. C'est les mots, comme je vous dis, qui me touchent au plus profond.
Vous pouvez les redire ou ce qui a été dit? Parce
Avec la maman, la sœur, c'est des mots très durs, quoi. Donc vous l'écoutez une fois, vous essayez de partir, c'est ce que je
But
fais.
at number 7, there was nothing honorable about Eduardo's ruined career. In 2007, Arsenal signed one of the biggest talents to come out of Brazil, Eduardo. This proved a masterstroke because he had already scored 6 goals after just a few games. However, this fairy tale start to his Arsenal career came crashing down on the 28th of February, 2008. Arsenal came up against Birmingham in a match they were expected to win comfortably. But after just 2 minutes, the darkest moment in Eduardo's life happened. His leg was broken, and the Arsenal man had to be rushed to the hospital. It took a year for him to make a comeback, but things were never the same after that injury. His career kept on declining until he retired. But the next foul shouldn't be seen anywhere near a football pitch. During a match between high-flying Ajax and Bayern Munich, Nicolas Tagliafico jumped to win the ball, only to be taken out by this. The injury was so bad, the doctors had to stitch him up right there on the ground. And now that we're down to our top 5, things are about to get nastier. Starting with a foul, 4 years in the making. In 2006, Juventus went up against Inter in a Serie A, but the game had an added spice. Before the match, Materazzi told reporters that he hated Zlatan Ibrahimovic. So with a few minutes of normal time left to play, Materazzi did this. Unfortunately for him, Zlatan wasn't one to let things slide. So 4 years later, Zlatan hit the perfect opportunity to pay him back. The foul was so bad that Materazzi had to be rushed to the hospital. Then, in 2019, Zlatan told the whole world that he waited 4 years to enact his revenge. Damn! Zlatan is not a guy to mess with. But Tyrone Mings didn't get the memo. In a match between Manchester United and Bournemouth, a young Tyrone Mings decided it was the best time to piss Zlatan off. The two clashed severely on the pitch, and then Mings took things too far by doing this. Never one to shy away from a battle, Zlatan shook his head, and 50 seconds later, he repaid the favor. But at least he could continue the game, unlike Haaland, whose career was ended. In 1997, Alfie Haaland accused Roy Keane of faking an injury when the Manchester United midfielder damaged his knee. Unfortunately for Haaland, this accusation pissed off Keane. And when the duo met again in 2001, Roy Keane wasted no time in exacting revenge. But as crazy as this head loss is, it's nothing compared to what Pepe did. In 2009, Real Madrid knew that only a win against Getafe could keep their hopes alive. However, things didn't go according to plan, as they found themselves losing 2-1 with 10 minutes remaining. So when Casquero fell inside the box after a tackle by Pepe, the Portuguese defender completely lost his mind.
Casquero on the chance to score is brought down for a kick. Pepe has lost the plot here. What was doing there?
In Spain is a joke. So, you appeal, and if they get something out of it, great. Plus, back in the play.
Damn! This attack feels personal. Just like it was for the player at number 1. In a match between Fenerbahce and Trabzonspor, Emre and Zokora got involved in a heated argument. But it turned out it was worse than that. Emre said some racial slurs towards Zokora that only cost him a 2-game suspension. Seeing how soft his punishment was, Zokora decided to do something about it. As fate would have it, they met again 2 months later, and one thing was clear. Zokora and his teammates came for blood. They kicked and fouled Emre at every opportunity. Zokora kicked him in the nuts. Still, 1 minute you're kicking your opponent. The next, you're hitting the post to give the greatest assist ever. Trust me, you have to see the 999 IQ moments in football. And for Cristiano Ronaldo, what looked like a missed chance turned into one of the most brilliant assists ever. In a match between Juventus and Genoa, Federico Chiesa won the ball at midfield and initiated a blistering counterattack. But after his effort was blocked, the rebound fell to Ronaldo, whose shot hit the post. Or that's what we thought.
Chiesa with the pace to zip away from Managerial. And Perrine with the block. Ronaldo off the post. Morata with the follow-up. It is 2.
The replay showed that Ronaldo actually saw Morata coming behind him, and since he couldn't score from such a tight angle, he hit the ball on the post, which kindly fell for Morata's goal. Nah, that right there is one of the smartest things I've seen a footballer do. But at number 29, Thomas Muller mounted a police roadblock in the middle of a football pitch.
Oh my God, bro.
It happened in the first leg of the 2013 Champions League semi-final match between Bayern and Barcelona. 70 minutes into the match, Bayern were already 2 goals ahead and waiting for another chance to kill the game. So when the ball was passed to Robben, Muller cleared the path for him by doing this.
Now then, Arjen Robben. It's still Robben. It's still Robben. And that is number 3. Absolutely huge goal.
Bro parked himself like a bus to stop any recovery tackle from the defender. Speaking of defenders, Lionel Messi used his opponent to set up an unstoppable goal. After battling to a 2-2 draw in the first leg of their Champions League quarterfinal against Barcelona, Arsenal walked onto the pitch in Camp Nou, unsure of what would happen. However, 18 minutes into the game, they went ahead through a Sir Bentner goal. But just 3 minutes later, Messi received the ball, played a 1-2 with Arsenal's Silvestri, and blasted it into the net. When you look at the replay, you begin to wonder if Messi casually controlled his opponent, or if this was one of the highest IQ moments in football. Speaking of high IQs, Kylian Mbappe completely fooled a defender with one brilliant move. In a match between Lille and PSG, the Parisian front line of Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe all scored to give their team a 4-0 first-half lead. But instead of relaxing, they resumed the second half with the same intensity they played the first. So when the ball was passed to Mbappe, he took a swing and missed. Or that's what we thought.
Hakimi's won it. Mbappe's missed it. Neymar won't. 5-0. It's a calamity at the back from Lille.
In reality, he pulled off a smart dummy that completely fooled the defender and everyone else in the stadium. But at number 26, a brilliant move that left Lionel Messi depressed. In the first leg of the 2019 Champions League semifinal between Barcelona and Liverpool, Lionel Messi and his teammates thought they had one leg in the final after defeating the Reds 3-0. But while celebrating their victory, Liverpool hatched a plan to ruin their party in the second leg. On match day, Liverpool rushed into a lead after just 7 minutes. As the second half resumed, they scored more goals to level the match on aggregate. But with 10 minutes left to play, the Barcelona defenders switched off for a corner, and Liverpool did this. The nature of the goal had Messi rethinking his life choices. But even the most famous corner kick in football is nothing compared to the trick that got Manchester United a rare win over Man City. Heading into the Manchester Derby in January 2023, everyone expected Man City to defeat their rivals just as they had been doing every year. This prediction seemed accurate as Man City dominated and got into the lead via Jack Grealish. With 10 minutes left until the end of the game, a through ball was played to Marcus Rashford, who was in an offside position.
Now Wan-Bissaka. He's got it through to Casemiro. And he's got it through to Rashford, and the flag has stayed down for now. And that's Bruno Fernandes, and now the flag is raised. Fernandes races across to the assistant, Darren Can. Checks himself.
But instead of touching the ball, he used his smarts to guard it until Bruno Fernandes came and slammed the ball home. Overwhelmed by this highly intelligent move, the referees had no choice but to allow the goal to stand. Speaking of intelligent moves, you have got to see Guti's insane assist. After a clearance fell to Guti in front of the Deportivo 18-yard box, he pretended like he was going to shoot, only to pull off this insane pass. Damn! It was as if he had eyes in the back of his head. Even Didn himself wasn't expecting him to play that pass. But at number 23, Baraki's sharp thinking completely destroyed a goalkeeper. During a match between Fiorentina and Verona, the Verona players gave away a silly free kick just by the halfway line. But with everyone seemingly distracted, Barahi spotted the goalkeeper off his line and did this.
Might be thinking to take this one quickly. It's unbelievable. It's a wonderful goal.
Damn! The intelligence to see the opportunity, the confidence to try it, and the technique to execute it all in unison for this piece of art. But at number 22, a player used his high IQ to predict the future. During a match between Arsenal and Burnley, some neat exchange of passes by the Gunners resulted in Ozil getting the ball at the edge of the box. Now hold up a minute. There's no Arsenal player in the box, but watch what Ozil does.
That's it. Nice football. It's on to Ozil. That's a delightful ball in, and Aubameyang scores! Really well made from the Gunners. Kolasinac turning provider.
It initially looked like a wrong pass, but boy was it on the money. He perfectly timed it to fit the defender's run. This guy's brilliance is on another level, man. Speaking of brilliant footballers, Maicun's smart thinking fooled everyone, including his teammates. In the match between Brazil and North Korea at the 2010 World Cup, the North Koreans shocked everyone by defending brilliantly against the mighty Brazilians. With ideas running out on how to break their opponents down, a pass was played into the path of Maicun. But instead of standing the ball up for his teammates to head, he did this.
wants it, gets it. Bring it in. And throws it in! What a goal! It was going to take something special. And Michael has just...
Wow! How did he even think about doing that? Bro competed with himself that day. But even such an intelligent goal couldn't break into our top 20. Wait till you see the IQ move that almost denied Messi a World Cup. But before we get to that, let's look at a goal that turned a goalkeeper into a statue. Having already gone up 2-0 against Chelsea, the Gunners were still in the mood to punish their London rivals. So when Saka picked up the ball, he ran at the Chelsea defense and floated in his cross. My bad, I meant goal.
Spare it. Throw. Oh, wonderful effort and a truly sensational goal.
Such was the brilliance of this strike that the goalkeeper didn't even attempt to follow it. But if an Arsenal player can embarrass Chelsea like that, rest assured that Chelsea will do the same to Arsenal. In the 2023 version of the London Derby, a rampant Arsenal team visited their disorganized Chelsea counterparts. But as the game started, the boys in blue dominated the early proceedings. Their pressure was rewarded when Cole Palmer converted a penalty inside. Despite their lead, everyone expected Arsenal to come back in the game. But in a bizarre show of skill, Chelsea's Mudryk did this.
Takes over. Up against Saliba. Oh, Mikhailo Mudryk can score! Incredible goal! Well, whether he makes it...
Now, was this an attempted cross or an answer to the Saka goal against his team? I'll leave you to answer that. At number 18, De Bruyne made a 200 IQ move that completely fooled his opponents. In a match between Bournemouth and Manchester City, the Cherries had parked the bus for most of the game. But after a clean exchange of passes, Aguero opened up the defense with this cheeky assist. While that was a brilliant goal, just look at what De Bruyne did. He knew he was offside and left the ball brilliantly for Sterling to tuck in at the near post. This reminds me of Messi's brilliant dummy that confused an entire team. Just like De Bruyne, Messi knew he was offside and let the ball roll to Pedro. But instead of turning away, he positioned himself smartly to wait for the cutback.
L'ha tingut. Pilota per Mascherano, Messi es desentén de la jugada, Pedro, Messi! Sí, senyor! Un altre hat-trick!
I guess the offside trap doesn't work for players with a high IQ, which is why it didn't surprise me when Mesut Ozil did this. You just have to acknowledge greatness, because how did he pull off this intelligent pass? Speaking of intelligent passes, Bruno Fernandes displayed quick thinking to catch his rival flat-footed.
Clever free kick.
In the 2020 version of the Manchester Derby, Manchester United won a free kick 30 meters away from the goal. But while the Man City defenders were trying to set up, Bruno Fernandes shocked them by doing this.
Sent over the top, and it creeps into the net. Anthony Martial has scored for Manchester United. Of a scoop set piece.
I can't lie, that is one of the smartest free kick routines I've ever seen. Speaking of clever free kicks, Ronaldo and Pjanic combined their intelligence to destroy their opponents.
They switched it.
In a match between Juventus and Sampdoria, Miralem Pjanic was responsible for taking Juve's free kick right at the edge of the box. At that distance, he had the option of crossing it for his teammates or shooting directly at the goal. But in a show of high-level play, he combined with Ronaldo to do this.
Bernadeschi and Pjanic. Pjanic clever!
Just look at Ronaldo, man. This was straight out of the training ground. Speaking of training ground routines, the Netherlands used their cleverness to break Messi's heart. During the World Cup match between Argentina and the Netherlands, the Argentines rushed into a 2-goal lead to all but secure victory.
Lionel Messi reaches out for more history.
But Weghorst's introduction completely turned the game on its head. He scored a beautiful header with 8 minutes of normal time left.
Berghaus, Weghorst!
Then, with the final kick of the game, the Netherlands did this.
Minus, smart, 2-2, extraordinary, 101 minutes!
Wow! I cannot imagine the roller coaster of emotions here. From comfortably winning to losing the lead with 2 seconds left. The Dutch almost ruined Messi's fairy tale ending with their intelligent free kick. But as smart as this might have been, it is nothing compared to what Olmo did to Bayern Munich. In the dying minutes of the match between Bayern and Leipzig, Bayern defender Davies limped off with an injury. As with fair play in football, Leipzig was supposed to give the ball back to Bayern, but instead of kicking it out for a throw-in, Dani Olmo took the ball and kept it at the edge of the line. Thinking that the ball was already out for a throw-in, Hernandez picked it up with his hand and was immediately penalized.
Say a throw for Bayern, but everybody seems confused. Certainly Hernandez.
He seemed confused, but Olmo had just tricked him into giving away a handball close to the edge of his goal. But as crazy as this was, you cannot compare it to Cristiano Ronaldo's best assist. In a match between Manchester United and Aston Villa, Ryan Giggs passed the ball to Ronaldo, who was completely backing the goal. Now stop. Look at the space Evra was running into. That was clearly the pass to make. But look at the pass Ronaldo makes.
The replay was the defender. Another flick from Ronaldo. It's Rooney. This is football.
I have no idea how he saw Rooney making the run, but this is one of the most intelligent assists from one of the greatest players of all time. Now that we're down to our top 10 picks, you're about to see the highest IQ moments on a football pitch. Starting with a player who predicted the future. During a match between Sheffield United and Newcastle, Jonjo Shelvey was put clean through on a goal by his teammate, but was immediately flagged offside by the assistant referee. Seeing this, the Sheffield defenders just stopped. Even the commentators wrote off the chance.
Shelvey goes beyond, Shelvey's been released, but offside. They'll probably get a yellow card here.
But Shelvey scored.
Shelvey goes beyond, Shelvey's been released, but offside. It's a good run. I'm not sure he knows. John Carroll came from an offside position. VAR checking the goal here. What's he given? It's a goal! It is a goal!
Now look at his reaction after he scored. He pointed to his head as if to say, "I'm smarter than the referees." After a VAR check, Shelvey was right. He knew exactly what he was doing, which cannot be said for the goalkeeper at number 9. In a match between Carlisle and Notts County, Hallam Hope pretended he was drinking water when he was actually planning a dubious attack. He smartly stalked the goalkeeper, and as soon as he saw the opportunity, he did this. You have to feel bad for the Notts County players, because a high IQ move outsmarted their goalkeeper. But at number 8, the Nantes players made a smart move that broke the system. In a match between Rennes and Nantes, Lucas Dew played a through pass to his teammate, who was immediately flagged offside. Seeing the flag go up, he tricked the defenders into thinking he was going to touch it, but let the ball roll past him. Since Lucas continued his run, it set up perfectly for the goal. that linesman must have been furious with this trickery. But what a Ukrainian player did at number 7 wasn't just smart, it was straight up disrespectful. While on the counterattack, the player had the option of passing to 2 of his teammates running free on goal. But while everyone expected him to make that pass, he made a fool of the goalkeeper by doing this. That's just an embarrassing way to concede a goal. Speaking of embarrassing goals, Liverpool's Adrian was caught sleeping by a brilliant free kick. During a Premier League match between Liverpool and Brighton, Alisson received a red card for handling the ball outside the box. His replacement Adrian came in and eagerly tried to set up the wall. But before he could position himself, Lewis Dunk was already celebrating his goal.
Internazionale and Roma, of course, at Liverpool. And it's Dunk, who scores and catches Liverpool out, while Adrian...
Conceding like that with your first action of the game we call baptism by fire. And now that we're into our top 5 picks, things are about to get Einstein level of smarts. Starting with one of the best goals in MLS history. During a match between DC United and Orlando City, a bad control found its way into Rooney's feet. Upon turning and seeing the goalkeeper, he simply said, "Get, I'm Wayne Rooney." Scoring from your half is cool and all, but it is nothing compared to a guy who outsmarted Lionel Messi. Given how prolific Messi is with free kicks, the sight of him standing over the ball terrified the Rayo Vallecano players. But Alex Moreno, who was well aware of what the Argentine would do, decided to stop it from happening.
For Suarez, but then again, it's Messi. 70th minute approaches. 4 on the wall, Messi, and headed over the ball.
Damn! Messi got outsmarted. That's not something you see every day. But if he doesn't get you now, he'll get you next time. Just like he did against the New York Red Bulls. After receiving the ball inside the 18-yard box, the Red Bull defenders thought they had Messi cornered. But out of nowhere, he did this.
Robinson leaves Busquets over to Jordi Alba. What a touch! Messi to his right. Keeps it on his left, of course. Oh, what a ball to Kamaski!
Damn! It takes an insanely high IQ to be able to see a pass like that. Is there still an argument for who the GOAT is? You can tell me in the comments section. But at number 2, Samuel Eto'o turned into football's most successful thief. In a match between Cardiff and Chelsea, the Cardiff goalkeeper was getting ready to take a free kick when Eto'o suddenly came from behind him and stole the ball.
He's had a run on a jump that it was always going to win it. Maybe didn't need to put much power into it. Oh, it's a big mistake by the goalkeeper. And now Hazard, he's got Eto'o square if he needs him. Samuel Eto'o for his first Chelsea goal. Hazard will get there instead.
This raised a controversy about whether he had a right to steal the ball that way from the goalkeeper. But since the referee allowed the goal to stand, Eto'o didn't care. After successfully getting away with that, everyone expected goalkeepers to be aware of Eto'o's tactics. But it seemed like the Schalke goalkeeper didn't get the memo, because when they faced Chelsea in the Champions League, this happened.
Him and Gary Cahill, he's had the most passes for Chelsea. Look at this.
Shambles for the goalkeeper, and Eto'o pounces to score for Chelsea in the most unlikely circumstances.
Damn! Maybe Eto'o chose the wrong profession. But now, it's time for the highest IQ moment in football. Everyone expected the Los Blancos to dominate the match between Real Madrid and Barcelona. I mean, they had Vinicius, Mbappe, and Rodrigo, all fast players. On the other hand, Barcelona played a ridiculously high line with an inexperienced backline. Madrid started the game well, and Mbappe scored what he thought was the game's opener, which was ruled out for offside. This set the template for the match, as each time Mbappe ran against the Barca defenders, he was flagged offside. The Barcelona defense continued setting perfect offside traps like robots. Mbappe scored another goal, but it was also ruled out for offside. By the end of the game, Barcelona had won 4-0, with Mbappe caught offside 8 times.
What the hell?
Now it takes a really high level of intelligence to turn a World Cup winning sensation into an amateur footballer who doesn't know how to stay onside. Outsmarting your opponent might be cool and all, but have you seen Lionel Messi dribbling an entire team? You have to see the impossible moments in football.
Absolutely sensational! Oh, wasn't he on the line?
Let's begin with Lionel Messi's greatest ever goal.
Oh, brilliant skill from Lionel Messi. Surging forward with real menace here. Brilliant from Messi. Oh, what a goal that is!
Bro nearly took out the entire team. But if Messi is out there scoring bangers, you better believe Ronaldo will do the same thing. With the lights shining brightest, Ronaldo took the perfect opportunity to do this.
Beaten away by Buffon. And then Ronaldo! What a goal! Cristiano Ronaldo!
Damn! Juventus had to sign after doing that in their stadium. But after seeing Ronaldo and Messi have all the fun, Zlatan Ibrahimovic had this to say about them.
Hart didn't quite get that right. Oh, look at that!
Ibrahimovic might be the coldest footballer ever to exist.
Yourself on the pitches believing you were a lion. Is that right?
I am a lion.
You are a lion.
For me, I like a striker that makes the difference. Lukaku is strong. Aguero is good.
You didn't say yourself. I was expecting you to say me.
Lions, they don't compare themselves with humans.
But the guy at number 27 made the weirdest throw-ins you'll ever see.
Game's in hand the whole time as Harris unveils the flip throw again and fires into the box. Ball comes down, setting up a bicycle kick, and it's in! Unbelievable from OKC Energy! And it's Gonzalez!
My goodness! The whole thing looks so fake. It feels like a massive glitch in FIFA. But the guy at number 26 wasn't even talking to humans. With Man City losing 1-0 to Arsenal, a frustrated Pep Guardiola turned to his side to complain to his invisible assistant. I can't lie, bro is one of the funniest guys who isn't trying to be funny. But I wonder what his reaction was when his team broke an unwanted record. Bayern Munich, serial winners of the Bundesliga, have always been in the news for all the good reasons. But on the 25th of August 2015, they made the news for an unwanted record. Now watch this.
Bayern Munich then getting the match underway. That's a terrible pass. Unbelievable. Oh my goodness.
By conceding that early, they helped Kevin Volland set the record for the fastest Bundesliga goal in history. Even I can last longer than 9 seconds. But what happens at number 24 will shock you. During a match in the 4th tier of the Dutch League, an overzealous referee positioned himself to score this wonderful goal. To make matters worse, he allowed the goal to stand. Look at him run in celebration. He should have just hit the Soo. But there was nothing celebratory about what happened at number 23. In a match between Cruz Azul and Toluca, a referee accidentally blocked a certain goal for Cruz Azul. With the way the players protested, was this an accident or was something sinister at play? But there's no conspiracy for what happens at number 22. Bro was straight up ass. PSG's Christopher Nkunku thought he had scored a goal, but his teammate decided to do this.
Well played, Alves, and Nkunku! And Choupo-Moting has stopped it! Unbelievable! Choupo-Moting actually stopped that ball on the line.
My goodness! Why didn't he just let the ball roll in?
Mbappe's reaction says it all.
But you know what's even more crazy? This wasn't the only time something like this happened. Imagine watching your goal about to go in, only for your teammate to come kick it out.
Tracks it down, opens up to his right boot, the cross towards Ricci, second effort, and dribbles it, no!
What the hell?
Did Akio clear that off the line himself?
Unbelievable! It gets worse with each replay. There's no way he didn't have a side bet somewhere.
Here we go, Seth.
Still, we've just shown you 10 out of the 30 impossible moments in football. Trust me, you have to see Ronaldo's insane free kick against Arsenal and a keeper who scored from his own half. But before we get to those, let's visit a stadium in Germany for a nice cooling break. During a match between Hanover and Bayer Leverkusen, a sudden outbreak of snow covered the entire pitch. However, this didn't stop Hanover's Haraguchi from rounding the keeper. After playing the ball towards an empty net, the snow said, "Nah, not on my watch."
Long for Haraguchi. Haraguchi's in here, he's taking it round to Radetzky, and Tar is going to clear off the line. Desperate times for Hanover, a goal that was certain. And
you have to feel bad for the player. Nature can be cruel sometimes. But Sparta's goalkeeper couldn't believe how lucky he was when he made 4 saves in 6 seconds. With 54 minutes on the clock, ADO Den Haag's midfielder Eric Falkenberg was presented with a glorious chance inside the 6-yard box. Unfortunately for him and his teammates, the Sparta keeper wanted all the smoke.
Komt hij voor de voeten van Valkenburg uit de dijen. 2 keer kortspit. Ja, je moet echt, en dan wordt hij bijna gepasseerd door een eigen speler. Maakt hij nog een keer een redding en maakt hij inmiddels 4 reddingen in totaal. Heeft Manschot inmiddels gefloten. Joost mag weten.
Bro made not 1, not 2, but 4 saves in quick succession. Even the ADO Den Haag player was impressed. But the goalkeeper at number 18 just wanted to take the piss. During an under-23 league match in Portugal, Braga's goalkeeper, João Carvalho, embarrassed an on-rushing attacker with this outrageous nutmeg. I would have walked straight off of the pitch if a goalkeeper did that to me. But while this keeper disgraced one player, Mo Salah did it against an entire team. In a match between Liverpool and Watford, Liverpool, in the mood to embarrass their opponents, were already up 3-0, thanks to their talisman, Mo Salah. But having had enough of the Egyptian, they thought it was a good idea to crowd him out, only for him to do this.
Here's Salah again. Oh, hello, twinkle toes. Still going. Oh no, you can't do that again.
As impressive as this might have been, it is nothing compared to what Isak did to Everton. Alexander Isak must have been watching Salah score that insane goal. So when he got his chance against Everton, he told him, "Hold my beer."
Isak down the left wing as they look to get a fourth Newcastle into the corner. He's taking on two. Oh, he's beaten them. It's wonderful skill from Isak. What a run, Alexander Isak. It's Jacob Murphy.
Bro turned the defenders into dogs chasing their tails before laying it on for the simplest goal in history. But I bet there's a player on this list who would have missed it. Still, missing an empty net is better than the most outrageous own goal I've ever seen. Just watch this. This goal needs to be put in the Hall of Shame, because what the hell? But the next moment in this video is a lesson on why people fail in life. After hitting the crossbar with his shot, this guy collapsed in disappointment while the goalkeeper celebrated wildly in his face. In a shocking twist of events, the ball rolled back in. This is a lesson. Don't give up when you fail on your first attempt. Fate can turn your failure into success. But while trying to succeed, you must be aware of thieves. Hallam Hope strolled casually into the opposition box during a match between Carlisle and Notts County. As soon as the goalkeeper dropped the ball for a goal kick, he came rushing in to execute a well-planned robbery. And just like that, a lack of spatial awareness cost his team an embarrassing goal. However, the next guys on this video delivered a masterclass in shitty defending. These guys decided to line up all 11 players while trying to stop an indirect free kick. In theory, it should have worked. However, when the ball wants to go into the net, there's nothing anyone can do about it. But the moment that comes next was voted the greatest free kick of all time. During a Champions League match between Arsenal and Manchester United, Cristiano Ronaldo won a free kick close to the center line. With the distance so far away from the goal, everyone thought it was outside Ronaldo's range.
It's 35 yards or more. Too far for Ronaldo to think about
Everyone thought that, except Cristiano Ronaldo.
Too far for Ronaldo to think about it. Oh! Absolutely sensational! He went through.
My goodness! That goal left this Arsenal fan rethinking her life choices. But now that we've reached our top 10, it's time to take things to a whole new level. Starting with a goal scored by a ghost? During a match between Leverkusen and Hoffenheim, Stefan Kieslin's perfect header gave Leverkusen a comfortable lead over their opponents. Except, it was never a goal. The replay showed that the ball went in via an opening in the side of the net. The referee was called to see the opening for himself. But since there was no VAR at the time, he allowed the goal to stand. Talk about having good luck. But the guy at number 9 wasn't so lucky. While trying to clear the ball, the goalkeeper mistakenly hit the back of his opponent's head, which deflected into his own net. bro must feel like the unluckiest footballer in the world. Just look at the smile on that coach's face. He's moving like his tactics gave them the goal. But the moment at number 8 is one of the worst crash outs by a coach.
Either side of half-time, 2-0.
In the Champions League match between Manchester City and Feyenoord, the Blues in Blue rushed to a 3-0 lead to all but secure a victory. However, the City players' shocking performance allowed Feyenoord to equalize all 3 goals in the last 15 minutes of the game.
This is extraordinary.
After the match ended, Pep Guardiola arrived for his post-match interview looking like he had been in a lion's cage. So when a reporter asked him about the bruises, he said this.
Hi Pep, sorry to go off topic, but you've got a cut and apparently some others.
With my finger here, my nail.
That's what I wanted to know.
I wanna hurt myself. Yeah. Good night.
It'll be okay.
Nah, it's not that deep, bro. It really isn't. While the Man City players caused their manager pain, the guy at number 7 produced a magical moment for his club. With a few seconds left in the match between ADO Den Haag and PSV, the Haag coach, desperate for an equalizer, sent his goalkeeper for one last chance at goal. Then, when the free kick was played into the box, this happened.
De vrije trap. Is voor Hansen. Ja! Hansen met de hak. Je verzint het.
Indeed, fortune favors the brave. But do you know what makes this even more interesting? This wasn't the first time a goalkeeper bailed out his team.
The big Brazilian stopper.
In a match between Liverpool and West Brom, the Albions shocked everyone by taking the lead against their illustrious opponents.
At the moment, and the pushing that has got them in with Robson Kanu, who scores.
However, Liverpool responded almost immediately.
To deal with one back and into the back of the.
But after a couple of goals were ruled out for both teams,
The header down is into the back of the net.
it looked like Liverpool would drop points yet again. Then, with the last chance of the game, Liverpool's goalkeeper went for a corner and did this.
The hero needed in red or maybe black. Make yourself a story. It's Alexander on. Oh, it's Alisson! Unbelievable! The big Brazilian stopper has only got to go forward.
And just like that, he became a Liverpool cult hero. But now that we've narrowed our list to the top 5, we have to see one of the most bizarre moments in Premier League history. During halftime of the match between Liverpool and Newcastle, the sprinkler suddenly started spraying the Liverpool fans in the crowd.
Nothing has gone right for the home fans, and now look what happens. Winter malfunction, home fans soaked. And most of them not too happy about it either. Oh dear.
Even I would have been pissed if I got soaked by my home stadium's sprinkler system. But at number 4, a referee gave one of the best assists you'll ever see.
My word! What a strange goal for...
In the match between Firth and Union Berlin, Firth tried working the ball into the Union box, looking for an equalizer. However, a clearance by the Union player hit the referee and indirectly provided the assist for Firth's equalizer.
Their equaliser, 10 minutes to go. Firstner tries to clear, it's come off of Bibiana Steinhaus. Turzen, and it's in! My word!
Since the referee was not allowed to interfere, everyone expected the goal to be ruled out. However, she opted to allow it. She should have just joined in on the celebrations, to be honest. But the guy at number 3 received a red card in the dumbest way possible. During a match in the Russian league, the board went up for a substitution by Dnipro. Samuel Inkum, who was being taken off, removed his shirt while jogging off the pitch. However, because he was already on a yellow card, the referee called him back, gave him a second yellow for taking his shirt off, and subsequently gave him a red card.
What the hell?
I'm just as confused as he was. But there's nothing confusing about the goal at number 2.
What a start for Union Omaha.
During a match in the USL League One, Union Omaha's goalkeeper, Kevin, became the first goalkeeper in USL history to score directly from a goal kick.
With just the 2 defeats all year long, as that long ball bounces over Holliday's head and bounces into the back of the net.
I don't know if this was brilliance from Kevin or the other goalkeeper was just terrible. But now, it's time for the most unbelievable moment in football history. In a match between Holstein Kiel and Bochum, substitute Michael Eberwein was casually warming up when the ball came toward him. Instinctively, he controlled the ball, but unfortunately did it a second too early.
Looking for the equalizer, and Sylvain Janvula's got it. That is a wonderful...
The VAR spoke with the referee to delay the restart. Apparently, Michael stopped the ball before it went out, and since he was a substitute, the referee gave a penalty.
For the home side being told to wait for their Eberwein has been found guilty, and a penalty has been given. So Janvula, who missed the initial shot, has scored the penalty. It's 1-1. One of the most bizarre moments.
As confusing as this might be, it is one of football's most bizarre rules. The culprit, Michael Eberwein, became the first player in Bundesliga history to give away a penalty without even being on the pitch. Conceding a penalty while not being on the pitch is weird. Speaking of weird, allow me to introduce you to the biggest hater in football. Starting with the biggest hater in football history.
Second effort, it dribbles and no!
Just as the ball was about to roll into the net, Valor FC's William Akio shockingly denied his team a goal with this clearance.
Tracks it down, opens up to his right boot, the cross towards Ricci. Second effort, it dribbles and no!
What the hell?
Did Akio clear that off the line himself?
Was this the most embarrassing miss in history? Or was Bro hating against his own team? This reminds me of the time Choupo-Moting did the same thing.
Well played Alves and Cuckoo! And Choupo-Moting has stopped it! Unbelievable! Choupo-Moting actually stopped that ball on the line.
Imagine having these two guys as the attackers on your team.
Mbappe's reaction says it all.
But at number 23, a player decided to celebrate in the weirdest way possible. After winning the Portuguese League in 2017, the Benfica players were all in celebration mode. While other players danced and sang, Eliseu celebrated by doing this.
Como é que surge esta ideia, André? Epá, não sei, foi de momento, a nossa equipe é boa no
But while this was all fun and games, there was nothing cool about what happened to Ashley Young.
I found this out this week.
During a match between Manchester United and Swansea, a bird decided to poop in the mouth of Ashley Young. I'm going to go throw up now. But what comes at number 21 almost swallowed a player whole. In 2022, the game between Austria and Denmark was delayed for over an hour due to a power outage. It got so bad that fans attempted to light up the stadium with their phones. Eventually, the light was restored and the game was played. But after the referee blew the final whistle, something even weirder happened. The Danish players discovered a sinkhole in the middle of the pitch. Now imagine if a player ran into this. Still, this is just 5 of the 25 weirdest moments on this list. Trust me, you have to see Tadic hitting the wrong ball at number 12. But before we get to that, let's take a look at a defensive masterclass by Harry Maguire. In a match between Manchester United and Norwich, Harry Maguire's pre-game warm-up looked weird and unconventional. But little did we know, he was practicing to do this. I guess practice makes perfect. Which cannot be said for Suarez, who completely forgot the rules of football. During a match between Uruguay and Chile, Luis Suarez's attempt was brilliantly stopped by the Chilean goalkeeper. But instead of settling for a corner kick, Suarez started appealing for a handball against him. This might be the dumbest thing I've seen a footballer do. But the guy at number 18 gives Suarez a run for his money. In a match between Mali and Tunisia, the Malians went into an early lead and defended it with their lives. But with few minutes left to play, Tunisia went all out to try and grab an equalizer, only for the referee to end the game with 5 minutes remaining. This sparked protests from the Tunisian players and staff. So to avoid any more drama, the referee signaled for play to continue. Then, in the 89th minute, he blew the final whistle again. I wonder what he was rushing home to do. Wink.
Ici fait la fin du match, il nous demande d'aller au vestiaire. Tous les joueurs ils font le bain de glace pendant 35 minutes. Après il vient et il nous demande de revenir sur terrain. Ici fait la 89e minute.
Bon, nous, on nous a dit de nous mettre sur le terrain parce que le match se passe. Malheureusement, l'équipe adverse n'a pas voulu faire sa prise.
Ça fait presque 30 ans que je suis dans ce domaine et j'ai jamais vu une situation pareille.
The thing is, this wasn't the only time a referee behaved weirdly on the pitch. This happened in a match between Arsenal and Chelsea. Arsenal's Oxlade-Chamberlain committed a handball to deny Chelsea a goal.
And here's Fernando Torres. And he's teed up Hazard! Oh, it was almost 3. The appeal is handball.
The Chelsea players immediately protested to the referee, who had no option but to send off the culprit. But instead of sending off Chamberlain, the referee sent off his teammate Gibbs. Chamberlain tried telling the ref Gibbs was innocent, but his mind was already made up. I cannot imagine how weird it must feel to get sent off for a crime you didn't commit. But one thing I can show you is a player disappearing from the pitch. With 15 minutes left in the match between Tottenham and Chelsea, Spurs manager Jose Mourinho was seen suddenly storming into the dressing room. At first, no one knew why, until it was discovered that Spurs defender Dyer had run into the changing room to take a bathroom break. So when Mourinho was asked about the incident, he said,
"Don't know if you're aware or not, but if you're trying to have a quick pee, the last thing you need is somebody standing over your shoulder."
The problem is that was not a pee.
Standing over a man while he takes a dump is weird.
No. Wait.
But not as disrespectful as what Kepa did to his coach. In the League Cup final between Chelsea and Man City, the Chelsea players battled hard to drag the game into extra time. With penalties looking like a possibility, the Chelsea coach decided to bring on his penalty expert for the shootout. But in a bizarre display of craziness, Kepa refused to come out.
No, please, no. Faites-le sortir.
Damn! I had no idea players had such power over their coaches.
Absolutely incandescent, and with every right of it. Well, he's walking away.
And so I didn't want the goalkeeper go to the penalties in that physical condition. I realized that the situation only after 3-4 minutes when the doctor arrived there. And the goalkeeper wanted only to let me know that he was in condition to go to the penalty. So it was only a big misunderstanding. Kepa was right, but in the wrong way, I think.
Speaking of coaches, two managers entertained fans with one of football's most epic touchline battles. Matches between Chelsea and Tottenham have always been fiercely contested. I mean, that's how London derbies are played. But in this particular game, things got a little out of hand. Chelsea's coach Thomas Tuchel and his counterpart Antonio Conte were hotheads. The two clashed severely over the referee's decisions, but things were fairly under control. Chelsea dominated and looked like they would win.
Good delivery as well, and he's hammered in by Kalidou Koulibaly.
But a Spurs late equalizer broke their hearts.
There was a flick up there that maybe there was a handball. Slide against Charlotte
So when the referee blew the final whistle, this happened.
And it's finished. It's finished. Correction. It's only just started.
But as weird as seeing two coaches fighting is, it's nothing compared to seeing a billionaire fall. While presenting the A-League trophy to the 2015 champions, Australian businessman Frank Lowry suddenly took a nasty tumble.
Wright unexpectedly forced to hold their breath.
Thankfully, he wasn't hurt, which cannot be said about Tadic, who hit the wrong ball. During the Champions League match between Ajax and Dortmund, Ajax's Dusan Tadic came up clutch by scoring his team's equalizer. But in scoring the goal, he made a very painful sacrifice. Sacrificing 2 balls to score 1 is heroic. But what comes at number 11 is the weirdest goal you'll ever see.
Light once, and it's gone in! It's gone in! It would have gone to...
Liverpool goalkeeper Pepe Reina thought he had Darren Bent's shit covered, but the ball hit a beach ball and made a fool of him and the Liverpool defenders.
Light once, and it's gone in! It's gone in! It would have gone to Reina, and it's hit the balloon and gone in. It's 1-0 and so unlucky Liverpool. Unbelievable.
I tell you,
1-0.
that will have to go to the...
Now that we've made it into our top 10, we're taking weirdness to a whole new level, starting with a miracle that happened on a football pitch. During a match between Italy and Belgium, Italy's striker Ciro Immobile started rolling on the ground after being tackled by the Belgian defense. But while he was holding his leg in pain, his teammate Nico Barea scored a wonderful goal. So when he saw everyone running to celebrate, he instantly jumped up and started celebrating too. Bro, we're Weren't you the one screaming in pain a few seconds ago? But if you still doubt that a goal has healing powers, wait until you see what happens next. In a match between Atletico Madrid and Elche, Morata's brilliant run ended with the striker holding his leg in pain. But while he was laying down, the deflected ball found its way into the net. So when he discovered he had scored the goal, all the pain he felt suddenly vanished as he celebrated with his teammates.
Morata leaves the defender for dead. Morata, left foot is short, takes a big deflection, it will bounce across the line. Morata is down, but Atletico Madrid.
Footballers faking injuries is just weird, man. But not as creepy as a fan impersonating a footballer.
Now this one might surprise you. You see,
fans always impersonate footballers, and it's cool. But in a match between Real Madrid and Fiorentina, one supporter took impersonation to a whole new level. You see, Real Madrid were losing 2-1 and decided to make changes. Players like Sergio Ramos and Karim Benzema came in to try to salvage the game. Their main man, Cristiano Ronaldo, also came in to contribute. Except this Ronaldo seemed like he gained a few extra pounds. He passed and waved the referee, who didn't seem to notice anything wrong, and neither did the stewards in the stadium. This fan had a good time on the pitch, while the real Ronaldo was sitting on the bench. But while this was all fun and games, Dumfries used a weird tactic to stop his opponent. During a match between FC Porto and Inter, Porto winger Galeno terrorized Inter defender Dumfries down the left-hand side. So when the Inter man had enough of his tricks, he embarrassed him in front of everyone.
Dumfries in Galeno after the kicks.
I cannot imagine how pained and confused Galeno must have felt. And the reporters interviewing Pep can also be said to have felt the same way. Pep Guardiola is undoubtedly one of the greatest managers of all time. The man has won trophies everywhere he's been. He single-handedly changed how football is played, with almost every manager copying his philosophy. But one of his most interesting facts is that he speaks 5 languages fluently. So when he was having an interview with some journalists, he decided to flex his language skills by speaking the wrong language.
Guten Abend, buenas tardes. Influye poco porque si piensas que tienes que reservar un resultado.
That doesn't seem like a mistake to me. But now that we're down to our last 5, we have to kick things off with the fans' ultimate sacrifice. During a match between Rotherham and Norwich, a Rotherham fan noticed his player struggling to grip the ball for a long throw. So he called out to the player, removed his sweater, and told him to dry the ball with it. I don't know about you, but that is how you support your football club. But what happens at number 4 shouldn't be seen anywhere near a professional football match.
I think Ronaldo's just threw a punch at that O'Shea.
In a match between Portugal and Ireland, Cristiano Ronaldo was preparing the ball for a free kick, but Dara O'Shea kicked it away. Angry at what he did, Ronaldo slapped him like he was some little boy.
And what has happened with Ronaldo here? Here it is.
O'Shea kicks it away, look.
Ouch! That must have hurt. But I wonder how the fans at number 3 didn't feel pain. Imagine celebrating your team's opening goal. You and your friends are jumping up and down, and suddenly, the whole structure under your feet collapses. passed out from such a scary situation. Imagine clowning yourself like this, only for Cristiano Ronaldo to be an even bigger embarrassment than you. Let's find out about the most selfish moments in football. And first, Cristiano Ronaldo's selfishness turned into his most embarrassing moment at the 2022 World Cup.
That's pretty good acting. That is pretty good acting.
During a match between Portugal and Uruguay, a cross by Bruno Fernandes was headed home by Ronaldo for the game's opener. Or that's what it looked like.
Chipped in for Ronaldo. Wouldn't you just know it?
That's pretty good acting. That is pretty good acting.
Yeah, he would say that, Hal, because he's a striker.
Despite Ronaldo celebrating wildly, the replay showed the ball didn't touch him. CR7 didn't care, and he tried several times to claim the goal, which was eventually awarded to his teammate. After the game, he still tried to make his claim by saying the ball touched his hair, prompting Adidas, the designers of the ball, to release this statement.
Adidas have released evidence that they say proves that Ronaldo did not make contact with the ball. Technology inside the ball definitively shows there was no touch.
But while Ronaldo failed in his attempt at stealing, Aaron Ramsey pulled off a heist even the GOAT would be proud of. During a match between Lokomotiv Moscow and Juventus, Cristiano Ronaldo thought his free kick had somehow beaten the goalkeeper, but Aaron Ramsey stole it at the last moment. I'm not a good lip reader, but I'm sure Ronaldo was calling Ramsey a thief while celebrating. But at number 23, Cole Palmer and his Chelsea teammates turned into the biggest clowns in the Premier League. In a match between Chelsea and Everton, the Blues rushed to a 4-0 first-half lead to all but settle the game. But as the second half started, they were awarded a penalty kick after a foul on their star player, Cole Palmer. Madueke, who was Chelsea's second penalty taker, felt he was entitled to play it, considering Palmer, the first penalty taker, had already scored a hat trick. Unfortunately for him, Palmer, who was in no mood to share, selfishly came and grabbed the ball. Then, Nicholas Jackson also decided to join in on the chaos, before they were both sent away by the Chelsea captain.
Got heavily caught first of all. Madueke's desperate to take this, arguing with Jackson.
The APP, the offside has been checked. And have a look at it as to who will take this. Nicholas Jackson.
You're 4-0 up and you're arguing between yourselves. What is going on here?
Madueke storms off in a huff. Nicholas Jackson likewise. Palmer.
I totally understand their frustrations. I would have been angry if I were in their shoes. This reminds me of the time Asuakatu nearly beat up his teammate for being selfish. It happened in the 2010 World Cup match between Cameroon and Croatia. The frustrations were understandably high within the Cameroon team as they were losing the game 4-0. So when Mukanjo refused to pass the ball to Asuakoto, the left back couldn't control his emotions and decided to attack his teammate. Speaking of teammates fighting, Jermaine Defoe was visibly upset when Gilberto selfishly denied him a free kick. During a match between Toronto FC and the New York Red Bulls, Jermaine Defoe won a free kick at the edge of the box and felt he deserved to take it. His teammate, Gilberto, fancied the chance more and decided to take it. Unhappy about his decision, Defoe almost fought him. But when Gilberto did this,
72nd minute, tie game. Roberto has a crack on goal, and how about that dart? Now it's a smile. Wow.
The once angry Defoe had no option but to smile and celebrate with his teammate. This right here shows you the roller coaster of emotions in every football game. We've just shown you 5 of the 25 most selfish moments in football. Wait till you see Mbappe fight with Neymar at number 11. But before we get to that, let's look at a greedy moment that cost England the 2018 World Cup. Heading into the 2018 World Cup semifinals, the English national team were quietly confident of beating the Croatians due to their overwhelming star power. As the match started, Kieran Trippier scored a one.
It is Kieran Trippier. It is delicious.
Then, in the 30th minute of the game, they got the opportunity to double their lead, but a brilliant save by the Croatia keeper denied Harry Kane.
Harry Kane! And Kane again!
Now let's roll that back for a second and look at the position Raheem Sterling was in.
Into the middle, Lingard picks it up. Lingard back.
If he had rolled the ball to him, it would have been the easiest tap-in ever. After missing their chances, the Croatians came back to knock England out of the World Cup. Harry Kane's selfishness costing his nation a shot at history. But there's something wrong with English players, because Phil Foden did the exact same thing to Erling Haaland. During a match between Man City and Bournemouth, an attempted through pass by De Bruyne fell into the path of Foden, who had 2 options. The first was to blast the ball past the goalkeeper, while the second was to slide the ball to Erling Haaland for an easy tap-in.
Oh, this is lovely from De Bruyne. Just slips to Foden. Huge save.
In the middle of the picture.
Yep, you're right. He chose the wrong option and cost his team the opportunity. But this wasn't the only time a Man City player did something as selfish as this. After securing a respectable 1-1 draw against Real Madrid, Man City went into the second leg of the Champions League semifinals confident of overcoming their illustrious opponents. With the tension visible within the stadium, the first clear-cut chance of the game fell on the path of Riyad Mahrez. With the angle already tight for a shot, everyone expected Mahrez to square the ball across to his teammate in a better scoring position. But in a show of selfishness, he decided to have a go himself, which made his coach almost lose his mind. But as crazy as Pep's reaction was, it's nothing compared to Maine's anger with Mo Salah. During a match between Liverpool and Burnley, the front 3 of Maine, Salah, and Firmino were in sync as Liverpool held a 3-0 lead over their opponents. With the game a few minutes from ending, a great opportunity fell to Mo Salah, who had only one option: pass it to his teammate Maine for an easy goal. But the Egyptian, for some selfish reason, decided to turn into traffic. This move infuriated Maine, who continued to vent his anger on the bench despite being substituted. Speaking of selfish players, what Jota did to Ronaldo almost made the GOAT lose his mind. In 2021, defending champions Portugal were looking to begin their Euros 2020 campaign against Hungary in a positive way. This was important because they were drawn into the group of death alongside pre-tournament favorites France and Germany. But it seemed Jota didn't get the memo, because when the first real opportunity of the game fell in his path, he refused to pass the ball to Ronaldo, who was clearly in a much better position to score.
Is forced into making a save. Cristiano Ronaldo was perfectly placed.
Yeah, I would have reacted way worse than Ronaldo did. Maybe that's why I'm still in my mom's basement. But at number 15, Kyle Walker became the #1 target for a furious Erling Haaland. In a match between Aston Villa and Man City, a nice build-up by Man City carved open an Aston Villa defense that had been under a lot of pressure. But with Haaland free just a few meters in front of the goal, Kyle Walker refused to pass him the ball and instead went for the goal himself.
To Bernardo Silva, Gundogan has helped it on, and Kyle Walker, well, the flag did stay down. There was a question as to whether he would have been offside, but he wasted the opportunity anyway.
This selfish decision got Haaland very angry, and from the way he looked at Walker, I don't even want to think of what was going through his mind.
I am human, and I do make mistakes.
But one thing I would have paid money to see is Pep's reaction after Walker did that. I guess we all don't get our wishes, which Anthony discovered when he selfishly attempted an audacious finish. Manchester United rushed to a 3-1 lead against Real Betis in the Europa League. With the match settled, a pass by Bruno Fernandes put Anthony clean through on goal. Now look at this. He had 1, 2, and 3 players queuing up for a simple tap-in. All he needed to do was roll the ball across. But his greedy mind opted to chip the goalkeeper instead.
Bruno Fernandes, Anthony! Look, it's where there's 2 people to tap it in. Goes for the little chip. It would have been a pretty...
But when you look at it critically, maybe that's why Real Betis signed him from Man United. Speaking of players who like to spin, Mario Balotelli did something so crazy that it cost him his Man City career.
That's a bit disrespectful, I believe, to the LA Galaxy.
During a preseason friendly between Manchester City and LAFC, Mario Balotelli was put clean through on goal by a pass from midfield. But instead of shooting to score, he decided to do a roulette, which embarrassingly went out of play. Angry at his selfish actions, his coach substituted him immediately. Damn! Imagine being too scared to shoot in America. But at number 12, Fernandes was in no mood to be the captain of Manchester United. Despite leading 2-0 in the final of the 2023 Carabao Cup, Manchester United were still in the mood to score more because they knew 2-0 leads could evaporate at any time. But when the chance to score a third fell to Bruno Fernandes, he refused to pass to Sancho and opted to score himself.
Trouble here. It was Botman in difficulty. Fernandes with Sancho alongside him. Fernandes keeps his head, but Karius denies him.
Being captain, he should have put the team's interest first, which is something Casemiro had to remind him of after the game. Since we're still on the matter of teammates arguing, you need to see what made Mbappe called Neymar an idiot. During a match between PSG and Montpellier, Neymar was in no mood to share the spotlight with Mbappe. He interfered with Mbappe's play and refused to pass the ball to him on several occasions. Much to the frustration of the young Frenchman. So when Mbappe was substituted, the first thing he did when he got to the bench was to call Neymar an idiot. Many say this was the beginning of their quarrel that ultimately concluded with Neymar leaving for Saudi Arabia.
Congratulations, and we will have together a great success.
But even a beef between two best friends couldn't break into our top 10. Because from here on, we're about to take selfishness to a different level. Starting with one of the most disrespectful moments you'll ever see. After winning a free kick in a Turkish league match, Belhanda rushed to the scene and literally snatched the ball away from his teammate as he prepared to take it. After disrespecting him like that, everyone expected Belhanda to at least hit the target, only for him to embarrass himself. But when you see what Richarlison did to his teammates, you'll feel like punching the screen. During a match between Everton and Brighton, Everton, who were already up 1-0, got a penalty kick that should seal the victory. Richarlison, who wasn't the club's #1 penalty taker, picked the ball and refused to hand it to Calvert-Lewin, who was waiting to take the penalty.
Definitely a penalty, but Richarlison wants to take it there. Calvert-Lewin is the penalty taker.
How do you manage the situation over the penalty? There was a bit of...
His teammates had to bundle him out of the penalty area, literally. And when Calvert-Lewin scored, he refused to celebrate. Almost as if he wasn't one of them. This is embarrassing behavior, and his face looks so... Never mind. But at number 8, we return with another famous battle over a penalty. In a match between PSG and Montpellier, the Parisians were awarded a spot kick after a handball by a Montpellier defender. Kylian Mbappe stepped up to take the penalty and missed.
On 22 minutes, as Kylian Mbappe looked to return with a goal, only to be brilliantly denied.
But with the team already winning comfortably, PSG won another spot kick after Messi made a nice play. Seeing that Mbappe missed the first one, Neymar decided he wanted to take it this time, a decision Mbappe wasn't happy about. So after some words were exchanged, he finally walked away and refused to celebrate with Neymar when he scored.
And he makes no mistake whatsoever.
But it seems Neymar has a thing for fighting teammates over set pieces. Because a few years back, he and Cavani argued over who would take a free kick. It got so bad that Dani Alves pushed Cavani aside and gave his countryman Neymar the ball. So when PSG won a penalty, Neymar still shamelessly tried to collect the ball from Cavani. It's sad to see teammates thinking only about themselves and not the team. Since we're still talking about PSG, you must see one of Ronaldinho's encounters with a thief in Paris. While still playing for PSG, Ronaldinho went on one of his trademark runs, rounded the keeper, sat the defender down, and just as he was about to score one of the best goals of his career, his teammate came sliding in to steal the goal. Damn! This man is a generational hater. I wonder why he wasn't arrested for stealing in front of thousands of people. But now that we're down to our top 5, get 2 buckets of popcorn, because you're about to get a lesson on greed. Starting with Kepa's infamous battle with his coach. With over 100 minutes played in the Carabao Cup final, the Chelsea coach knew that for them to win the trophy against Man City, they needed a goalkeeper who was good at stopping penalties. So he signaled Kepa to be replaced by their penalty expert, Willy Caballero. But in a bizarre show of disobedience, he refused to come off.
No, please, no.
After blatantly disrespecting his coach in front of the whole world, he still put up a disastrous performance in the final to hand Man City the victory.
Absolutely incandescent and with every right of it. Well, he's walking away. He might be walking away from the stadium.
And so I didn't want the goalkeeper go to the penalties in that physical condition. I realized that the situation only after 3-4 minutes when the doctor arrived there. And the goalkeeper wanted only to let me know that he was in condition to go to the penalty. So it was only a big misunderstanding. Kepa was right, but in the wrong way, I think.
But if you think this wasn't selfish enough, wait till you see what happened to Nagatomo. While on the attack against Udinese, Nagatomo kept screaming for his teammate to pass the ball to him, but Jonathan didn't even react to his calls and decided to do something else.
Can you pass the ball to me? Nagatomo screaming for the ball.
No wonder he was frustrated. Getting ignored like that hurts the soul. But Nagatomo chose to let things slide, unlike Chicharito, who wasn't in the mood for peace when a similar thing happened to him. During a match between Leverkusen and Zenit, Karim Belabari kept wasting chances, much to the frustration of his teammates. So when he refused to play an obvious pass to Chicharito, the Mexican lashed out at his teammate. But at number 2, Icardi almost got punched for being selfish. While on the counterattack against Udinese, Mauro Icardi refused to play the ball to his teammate Osvaldo. Instead, he took on the defender and ended up wasting the opportunity. Furious at his selfishness, Osvaldo charged at Icardi, almost like he wanted to knock him out. Thankfully, someone was there to stop the situation from escalating even further. But now that we're at number 1, you're about to witness the most selfish player in football history. During a match between Honved and Pesci, Honved player Leandro Martinez won a penalty and was keen on taking it. But his teammate, David Lanzafame, argued that he should take the penalty despite already having a yellow card. Tired of their foolishness, the referee gave both players yellow cards. By doing so, he had to send off Lanzafame for his second yellow offense. But even after being sent off, he still wanted to attack his teammate. In all my years of watching football, this is the most selfish thing I've ever seen a footballer do on the pitch. A teammate selfishly getting a red card? No wonder Messi is so fast. He's trying to get away from clowns like this and become the quickest player in the world. Lionel Messi is one of the most devastating dribblers in the world of football. And when he hits his stride, he's practically unstoppable. Quick feet, insane acceleration. This guy can reach a top speed of 33 kilometers an hour. And to think, he's the slowest person on this list.
Wait a minute!
You're in for some serious display of speed. Because the guy at number 24 is so fast and strong, they call him the Terminator. In a match between Manchester City and Brighton, Henderson launched a ball from his 18-yard area, and Haaland did this.
Ball by Edison, and Haaland's going to get onto it, and he's going to score the opening goal. Brilliant vision from Edison.
Damn! Bro casually hit a top speed of 35.7 kilometers per hour before destroying that defender like he was nothing.
His goal-scoring record this season has just been ridiculous. He's quite simply a robot.
I did it, so
It's unbelievable.
Now imagine this guy chasing after you. But even the Terminator is nothing compared to the fastest player of the 2020-2021 Bundesliga season.
Becomes the fastest player in the Bundesliga this season.
Kingsley Coman has built up a relationship as a ridiculously skillful and successful player. This guy won a league title in every season he played senior football, until he met the Harry Kane curse.
To be honest, guys, I really don't know where my problem lies. I've tried my best my entire career, working hard to at least win a trophy, but it has turned out that I'm not successful. I've also tried at the club level, bagging goals every season without luck. Now I'm in the Bundesliga, and I don't see things going right.
But perhaps his greatest attribute is his insane speed. In the 2020 league match between Bayern and RB Leipzig, Kingsley Coman hit a top speed of 35.89 kilometers per hour, just to save an overhit pass from going out.
Alaba is looking for Kingsley Coman. Gets to the byline and turned away by Gulati.
Damn! I think bro might be in the wrong sport. But even a guy like Coman is nothing compared to a player who claims to be faster than CR7, Gareth Bale, and Kylian Mbappe.
Mbappe's reaction says it all.
During the Barclays area of the Premier League, Aaron Lennon was undoubtedly one of the league's best wingers. This dude was famous for only one thing: speed. Whenever he came up against defenders, he would zoom past them like they were statues. With the man now retired, he thinks he was faster than the world's fastest footballers.
Stay quiet until you hear a player quicker than Aaron Lennon, Thierry Henry, Eden Hazard, Nani, Aubameyang, Theo Walcott. That's big, you know. Cristiano Ronaldo, Kyle Walker,
still silent.
Gareth Bale, Kylian Mbappe.
Nah,
what?
Bro was backing himself a little too much. But the next guy on this list is so fast that he was nicknamed the Panther. The Panther is known for remarkable speed, agility, and predatory instincts. If you watch Darwin Núñez play, it's not hard to argue that he deserves that nickname. But I'm not so sure about the predatory instincts part. However, during a match against Everton, he played a 1-2 with Mo Salah, ran with the ball at 36.2 kilometers an hour, and laid it on a plate for his teammate to score. If only his finishing were as good as his running, this would have been one of the deadliest strikers in football. Now, that is just 5 of the fastest football players on the planet. We're just getting started. Get ready for an insane display of speed, beginning with Manchester United's fastest player over the last 8 years. Since Sir Alex Ferguson retired in 2013, one of Man United's favorite tactics has been to hit teams on the transition with quick balls over the top. This strategy has hurt teams time and time again because of Marcus Rashford's pace. When he hits full stride, he can reach a top speed of 36.3 kilometers an hour, making him one of the fastest players in the Premier League. But even being a cheat code for your club is nothing compared to a player who runs faster than the ball. From his early days as a player at Schalke 04, Leroy Sané's weapon of choice has been his blistering pace. This guy turns defenders in and out and even outruns the ball. But perhaps his greatest display of speed was when he hit a mind-blowing 36.5 kilometers an hour just to stop his opponent from shooting. But the guy that comes next doesn't run to get away from players. He sprints to scare the crap out of them. All the players that we've mentioned so far have been attackers. That's because we all seem to forget the players who try to keep up with them. We all know Rudiger for his hard tackling, craziness, and silly antics. But most people don't realize that this dude is crazy fast. When chasing down strikers, he has been clocked hitting a top speed of 36.5 kilometers an hour. But honestly, it's hardly surprising when you see how he sprints. Those galloping runs surely come with extra horsepower in his legs. But even a guy like this is nothing compared to a player so fast, you'll need a pistol to stop him. During a match between Liverpool and Arsenal, Theo Walcott picked up the ball from the front of his 18-yard box, then went on a crazy run before setting up an easy tap-in for Adebayor.
Walcott, he can shift. Theo Walcott, he's got three others with him. Liverpool a little bit bare here. Walcott, he's got away from Happier. He's got three to cross to.
Just look at him go. He easily hit a top speed of 36.6 kilometers an hour with the ball glued to his leg. Even such a speed demon feels a bit slow compared to the guy who broke the speed record at Inter Milan. In the early 2000s, a young Nigerian striker with so much speed and power took the Italian league by storm. His name was Obafemi Martins. So long as the ball was played before him, no defender could keep up with him. Dude was so fast that he became the first player to be given a 99 rating of speed and acceleration on PlayStation's Pro Evolution Soccer. And despite many other fast players coming after him, he still thinks he was more rapid than them.
Thierry Henry, faster than Mickey van der Ven, faster than him for sure. Kyle Walker, way faster than him. Kylian Mbappe, way faster. Cristiano Ronaldo, way faster. So there's no player on this list faster than
no player. Go back to Inter Milan and ask about me.
But even a guy with such self-belief is nothing compared to a guy who is every defender's nightmare. In a match between Real Madrid and Valencia, Karim Benzema played a through pass to Vinny Jr., who decided to turn on the nitrous boost. Bro hit a top speed of 36.7 kilometers per hour before coolly slotting the ball home. The crazy part is, he does this every game for 90 minutes without stopping. I would hate facing a guy like this if I were a defender. But the guy that comes next is so fast that he became friends with speed.
Guess who we got? My brother, my twin, Rafael Leo, my man.
In the Champions League match between Milan and Napoli, Rafael Leao received the ball in his half, skipped past the first defender easily, and then left the second defender in his rear view. By the time he got to the 18-yard box, he had already clocked a mind-blowing top speed of 37.8 kilometers an hour. To think a guy this fast is friends with I Show Speed feels about right, but a player like Liao is nothing compared to a player so fast he outran his marital problems. Achraf Hakimi is a defender like none other. While wingers use their speed to get away from defenders, Hakimi is a defender who uses his speed to get away from wingers. He goes on runs like this almost every game, effortlessly hitting a top speed of 37.9 kilometers an hour. But Hakimi isn't the only defender built like this, because at number 12 comes a guy who is literally a freak of nature. After escaping mediocrity at Tottenham, Kyle Walker has done well for himself at Man City. This success has been largely due to his insane speed and power. But while most people get slower as they get older, this dude keeps getting faster. At 32 years of age, he can hit a top speed of 37.9 kilometers an hour. He always shows up out of nowhere to intercept players when they are through on goal. And speaking of freaks, the only way to stop the guy that comes next is by fouling him. Adama Traore is known in football for only pace and power. When he goes on his trademark attacking runs, this guy can reach a speed of 38 kilometers an hour. To stop him, most defenders resort to hugging and fouling. So to prevent that from happening, bro rubs baby oil on his arms before every game. But even a guy who loves baby oil more than P. Diddy,
What the hell?
couldn't break into our top 10. Wait till you see how fast the guy at number 1 ran. But before we get to that, let's look at the fastest player of the 2023-2024 Premier League season. When Mickey van de Ven arrived in the Premier League, everyone wrote him off. After all, he was a big and lanky central defender. For a man that big, we all thought he would be slow, until he shocked everyone by doing this. Bro was clocked at 38 kilometers an hour while hunting down a Brentford attacker. This guy is definitely in the wrong sport. But Van de Ven isn't the only Dutch speed demon on this list.
Ich muss einfach sagen, ich bin nur dankbar. Sehr, sehr dankbar. Und jetzt macht sein Tor. Und die will selber machen. Und macht die. Robben! Ein unfassbares Tor. Robben! Robben! Robben!
During the 2014 World Cup, a through pass by Wesley Sneijder set loose Arjen Robben with nitrous strapped to his legs. Now look at this. He gave Sergio Ramos a head start and still passed him at a top speed of 38 kilometers an hour. My Toyota Corolla doesn't even run that fast. Bro made the Spain coach rethink his life choices. But the guy at number 8 is fast because of a Nigerian secret. After a well-defended corner by Dortmund, a pass over the top released Adeyemi in space, who in turn did this. Bam! You could feel the fear in the defender's body language. He knew he had no chance. After witnessing such crazy speed, the reporter had to ask him his secret.
Tell me what you eat, because I want to be as fast as you.
I eat a lot of African food, but I have good genetics from my dad, so I think it's a little bit difficult for you to get fast.
Yeah, I know I have some trouble. What's the African food called, so I can look it up?
It's called fufu.
What's it called?
Fufu.
Fufu?
Yes.
From where is that?
Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Yes.
Okay, I'll look up some fufu to start eating.
It's also very good.
But even a guy like this is nothing compared to one of the greatest footballers of all time.
Here I come. Oh, here I come.
There was no way this list would be complete without mentioning the great Cristiano Ronaldo.
Scorpio.
Albert can break. Decent part. Rooney's got some space to his left. Here is Wayne Rooney. To the other. In the blink of an eye. Cristiano Ronaldo scores for the second time on the night.
Bro was one of the world's fastest humans during his days playing as a winger. There are countless clips of his insane speed, but perhaps his finest sprint was when he did this. He ran at a crazy top speed of 38.1 kilometers an hour. And to think, he did this at 33. He definitely isn't human. But at number 6 is a guy so fast that he always tears his muscles. Since he became a sensation at Dortmund, Ousmane Dembélé has been one of the best wingers in the world of football. Left or right, he can beat defenders in any direction. But the key to his success hasn't been his skills, it's his speed. This guy accelerates from standing faster than most cars and can reach 38.2 kilometers an hour when he hits top speed. Thankfully, he's now fast enough to escape the injuries that plagued his early career. With that, we're now down to the 5 fastest players in history. It's time to strap on your seatbelts because we're about to blast off into space. Starting with a guy so fast, he was nicknamed the Roadrunner.
The FC Bayern Roadrunner.
You probably remember the Roadrunner from the cartoon Looney Tunes. That bird could hit top speeds of 40 kilometers an hour. And to understand why Davies was nicknamed after it, watch this.
26.
Oh, he's got away from Alaba, but he's stumbled. He's all on his own, and he's outnumbered.
The Roadrunner.
Bro gave Haaland a 50-meter head start and still caught up before he could take the shot. But the guy that comes at number 4 is the true definition of pace and power. Gareth Bale is the greatest British player ever to play the game. At his peak, this guy was a thorn in the side of defenders, and his greatest asset was his speed.
Bale looking to use his space. Well, he was taken out of it by Bartra, or tried to, but the
referee's played a good advantage. Bale using that.
Just look at how he ended Mark Batra's career here. He zoomed past him at a top speed of 38.5 kilometers an hour. Rumor has it that the defender is still chasing Bale's shadow. But the guy at number 3 is a man many claim is faster than Usain Bolt. I know that sounds crazy, but during a match against AS Monaco in 2019, Kylian Mbappe ran at a speed of 39 kilometers an hour, which was faster than Bolt's average speed from his 100-meter world record in 2009. I'm not a math expert, but this sounds insane. However, when you see the speed Mbappe generates from a standing stop, you question whether this is actually true. But I'm sure you're wondering, who might be faster than Mbappe? Well, there are 2 of them, starting with the greatest player in Premier League history. During his peak, Thierry was simply a joy to watch. He did things with the football many could only dream of, and his weapon of choice was his devastating pace. If Opta were recording speed back then, this man could easily clock 40 kilometers an hour. But just like Henri said, the greatest player he had ever seen was Ronaldo Nazario of Brazil.
R9. The real Ronaldo, the real one. Oh, the real Ronaldo. We said the real one. Cristiano. Ronaldo is R9. Cristiano is Cristiano Ronaldo.
Even if you started watching football today, when the argument for the greatest number 9 in history comes up, the name you will hear the most is R9. This man completely revolutionized the number 9 role in football. He performed tricks and skills no one had seen before, but his most underrated power was his speed. Watching clips of him playing against defenders felt like he was playing at 2 times the normal pace. For that, he has earned the right to be crowned the fastest player in football history. Imagine being this fast, but still not quick enough to escape the most horrible interviews by reporters.
Can I finish speaking and show some respect?
Starting with the time Messi made an old man cry. In 2022, an Argentine journalist finally got the opportunity of a lifetime, a one-on-one interview with Lionel Messi. But when he saw the little magician, he burst into tears.
Poder llegar así a las personas, que hay muchas personas.
At first glance, Messi didn't understand what was happening. But when he noticed the man crying, he showed his class by comforting him. While this reporter got emotional in front of his hero, another journalist asked Ronaldinho a rather interesting question.
Poucas mulheres, né? Dia Internacional da Mulher, meia-noite.
É verdade. É, para todas as mulheres.
Tá namorando?
Hã? Quer namorar comigo?
What? It's safe to say that Ronaldinho went home with the Human Man of the Match award that night. But at number 28, Cristiano Ronaldo gave a reporter the biggest shock of his career. After repeatedly publishing negative articles about his family, Portuguese newspaper CMTV had the nerve to approach Ronaldo for an interview. When he noticed it was them, he did this.
Ronaldo, preparados para este jogo hoje? Foi trabalho difícil.
Foi. Isto está cheio de piranhas aqui à volta e os crocodilos no meio dos jacintos. É susto, mas conseguimos.
But at number 27, Ousmane Dembele delivered one of the most confusing interviews you'll ever see. While playing for Rennes, a reporter asked Dembele what his strongest foot was, and he answered,
Vous êtes droitier ou gaucher? Gaucher. Sûr, parce que vous marquez aussi le droit. Ouais, je suis plus gaucher. Et les pénaltys, vous ne les tirez pas du droit? Si. Pourquoi? Parce que je tire mieux du droit.
It's Dembele for France. 1-0.
What the hell?
While this might have been confusing, number 26 traumatized the journalist who thought it was a good idea to piss off Gattuso.
Call me 5-6 president for change teams. No, me stay here.
After losing 1-0 to Atromitos, one reporter started criticizing Gattuso's team. So when the manager had enough, he said this.
Because I work 12 hours a day. Me, my staff, you, the people who work in this club. I no permit. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe
I don't know if you noticed, but why does the translator look like he's in a hostage situation? But what comes next is one of the smoothest transitions you'll ever see.
Andre, qu'est-ce qu'il doit reciter dans la...
Reciter.
Merci beaucoup.
Okay, aujourd'hui. And Andre is not even my name, mate. Do you know what I mean? Go on.
Damn! Switching from French to a strong English accent like that is wild, but not as crazy as what Phil Neville did to a reporter. Having lost 3-1 to Nashville, Inter Miami coach Phil Neville was in no mood for jokes. So when a reporter tried to interrupt him, he completely lost control.
We won fight. Can I finish speaking? Are you going to interrupt? Can I finish speaking? Okay, because I don't interrupt your question. Okay, so don't interrupt mine. Show some respect.
Losing must really suck. But how do you explain a player getting angry after winning a match? After winning a heated World Cup quarterfinal against the Netherlands, Messi and his Argentine teammates were still not in the mood to smile at their opponents. So when Weghorst tried to shake Messi's hand, the Argentine snubbed him and went for his post-match interview. Feeling disrespected, Weghorst stood there angrily waiting for Messi to finish. But when the little man sighted him, he said this. I'm no expert in Spanish, but I'm sure he wasn't talking about taking pictures together. But even this is not as disrespectful as what Maradona did to Muller. Thomas Muller made his full international debut in a friendly against the Argentina national team. So after the game, Muller, alongside some officials, sat next to Maradona for a press conference. But when Maradona saw Muller, he stood up and left, citing that he wouldn't do an interview next to a ball boy.
Preguntarle primero al jugador, yo espero ahí. Usted empieza, por favor, No, pero no es normal que yo haga una conferencia de prensa con un jugador al lado. No, yo espero, háganle. Sí. Que se quede acá, que el jugador se va. No es
No lo puede creer. Claro, con un jugador de la selección alemana, con un jugador de Alemania, pero ¿cómo van a hacer una conferencia de prensa con los dos?
Embarrassed, Muller kept his cool and plotted his revenge behind the scenes. As fate would have it, Germany met Argentina in the quarterfinals of the 2010 World Cup. 3 minutes into the game, Thomas Muller fired Germany into the lead with a wonderful goal.
Inside the Argentine half of the field, ignored by Schweinsteiger. It's a great ball in. It's inside 3 minutes. Fantastic ball in by Schweinsteiger.
They went on to win 4-0. And when he was asked about what Maradona did to him, he said, "I don't think he thinks I'm a ball boy anymore." But at number 21, a journalist gave Cristiano Ronaldo a new name. Cristiano Ronaldo was confused after a reporter mixed up his teammate's name.
¿Qué te pareció concentrado?
Concentrado, ¿qué es ese jugador? Concentrado. Coentrão. Muy bien.
But after he took the time to correct him, another journalist gave him the wrong name.
Vale. Estoy concentrado, sí.
But now that we've gotten to our top 20, the interviews are about to get even more crazy. Starting with a penalty that made Klopp lose his control.
Unbelievable, really.
During a match between Liverpool and Everton, the boys in red could only score one goal despite all their dominance. With the game nearing its end, Everton won a controversial penalty, and Wayne Rooney brilliantly scored.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and he's found him. And he's gone down and pushed from one for a penalty. And suddenly, in the blink of an eye, this game could change. Rooney scores! But the moment of madness from Dejan Lovren, who's still protesting even now. How soft is that to decide that game?
Unbelievable, really.
So after drawing the game, Jurgen Klopp didn't hold back when asked about the penalty.
To you, 100% not a penalty. Or does Dejan Lovren does he not need to make the decision? That it's not a case of blaming him. Does he not need to make the challenge though?
He doesn't make a challenge. Calvert-Lewin takes a step in his thing, but
and there's hands on the back.
The hand is like this on the back. You saw it. If you think it's a penalty, then do it. Say it. Say it. It's a penalty in your opinion.
I think it's soft, but I think it is a penalty.
So then we can stop the interview because I only want to talk to people who have a little bit of understanding of football.
There are people who played a lot of football matches in our studio who also think it's a penalty.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm wrong.
However, this wasn't the only time Klopp clashed with a reporter. Before the 2023-2024 season started, Klopp announced he was retiring from management at the end of the season. So during a match against Sparta Prague, one reporter who had just crawled out of a hole asked him one of the silliest questions ever.
Is there any player from Sparta squad who wants you for Liverpool?
I retire in the summer. You want me to take him on holiday or what?
But at number 18, Jude Bellingham was asked one of the most shocking questions he'd ever heard.
Why do you laugh? Why?
After playing out a 1-1 draw with Leipzig, Jude Bellingham settled in for his post-match interview with a Spanish reporter. Initially, it was all fun and smiles as she asked Jude for a favor.
Can you tell him to do the Spanish homework, please?
Spanish homework.
Yes.
What's his name?
Gabriel.
Gabriel, do your Spanish homework.
But as the interview was about to end, she asked Jude a question that took him out.
Gracias, lo agradezco mucho. ¿Quieres venir a casa conmigo? No, eres el hijo perfecto. No, non es una propuesta.
Oh mio Dio, guarda che siamo su un terreno sdrucciolato.
This reminds me of the time Haaland faced a similar situation. After scoring 2 goals in a 3-0 demolition of Club Brugge, Erling Haaland looked unhappy with his inability to score a hat trick. But instead of the reporter asking him questions about the game, he decided to talk to him about this.
Hello, her is good, Erling. Agree. Then, are you going to sleep lonely tonight? Yeah. You're not taking a girlfriend at home right now. You didn't score a hat trick. Didn't score, no. Okay, that was it. Thank you very much.
The look on Haaland's face when he asked that question, you could tell he didn't have a girlfriend at the time. But this reporter cooked Haaland. He repaid the favor against the CBS crew. In a match against RB Leipzig, Haaland scored a mind-blowing 5 goals as Man City destroyed their German opponents. So to celebrate his remarkable performance, Haaland was invited to chat with the CBS crew. But upon getting there, the first thing he did was to mock Carragher and Micah Richards.
Congratulations on a phenomenal night in the Champions League, and for you, a special night scoring 5 goals. How was that?
No, it's an amazing feeling. I think you are the only one that maybe know how to score a lot of goals. So.
He did them badly there. Which can be said for Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who decided to embarrass his teammate on national TV. After a game between PSG and Lille, Zlatan was supposed to be interviewed by his former teammate Kamara. But in a shocking twist of events, Zlatan decided to interview him instead.
How are you doing, Papas?
Yeah, I'm okay. You?
You're even more ugly in television than reality.
And I even put the makeup, so can you imagine?
Damn! You could see the pain on his face. But for Iker Casillas, he had eyes for something romantic. In the final of the 2010 World Cup, Iker Casillas made one of the most iconic saves in football history.
Played through for Robin. This is the chance. Arjen Robben is in. And Arjen Robben has been denied by Casillas.
After winning the World Cup, this was an emotional night for all the right reasons. But amidst the celebrations, Casillas still created time for an interview. However, while the reporter was asking him questions, the goalkeeper's mind was elsewhere. So when he had had enough of the talk, he did this. Thomas Muller was joyous after destroying Barcelona 8-2 in the Champions League. So while having an interview, he said this.
And we have Robert Lewandowski. You know, Robert Lewandowski.
Bro chose the wrong time to crack a dad joke.
Oh my God, bro.
Zlatan, on the other hand, was in no mood to smile at a journalist. In 2004, Zlatan Ibrahimovic became the most hated man in the Netherlands. During a friendly match between Sweden and the Netherlands, Zlatan mistakenly injured Dutch star boy Van der Vaart.
Ze moesten elkaar niet. En het dieptepunt van die relatie volgt in de vriendschappelijke interland tussen Zweden en Nederland.
The crazy part is that they were teammates at Ajax. But for some reason, fans were angry at Zlatan and kept insulting him when he returned from international duty. In his first game back, he answered all his critics by scoring this crazy goal.
En nu dan, je schiet ook.
Despite winning the fans, Zlatan was still hurt by all the insults he received. So when he saw one of the reporters who published a hateful article about him, this happened.
You don't like to have an interview, no?
First we talk shit, now you can't. We do it.
Do you think we make shit? You think?
Worse people.
Yeah? Wow. I first now talk about the game. Because you played fantastic well.
Doesn't matter, you talk only about the game.
Because you don't want to talk anymore about the other things.
There's no other things. It's solved and it was solved immediately, and yeah.
Let's try me one time. There are so many Zlatans. Who is the real Zlatan? It's like there was a twin brother. You played so well today. And your behavior, and you were so easy and so relaxed today. It was true, no?
No, I don't agree. I was playing also normal against Holland, and today I play also normal, so there's only one Zlatan.
But the reporter at number 11 was shocked by one of the greatest footballers of all time. Throughout the Ronaldo-Messi era of dominating football, the press tried to make their rivalry more than it was. They published articles about them and deliberately misquoted their statements, making it spiral out of control. So during the 2015 Ballon d'Or press conference, a reporter thought his tricky question would set Ronaldo up, only to receive the shock of his life.
Yo, la pierna izquierda no está mal. A lo mejor sí, la pierna izquierda. Yo tampoco soy muy mal de izquierda, no estoy mal, pero su pierna izquierda a lo mejor puede ser un poquito mejor que la mía.
This is what happens when game recognizes game. And with that, we've made it to our top 10. From here on, you'll see some of the most insane interviews ever. Let's begin with Ronaldo's famous beef with FIFA. Heading into the 2015-2016 season, Cristiano Ronaldo went on tour to advertise his new headphones, Rock Sport. But while on an interview with CNN, one reporter decided to ask him a controversial question that would have gotten him into trouble.
Cristiano Ronaldo, muchas gracias por estar con nosotros.
Pero no me digas que no hablan de eso en los camarines.
¿Quieres saber la verdad? No hablamos cero sobre eso. Nada. Hablamos de otras cosas.
¿De qué hablan?
De música, de mujeres, de moda, de zapatos, de maletas, de joyas.
Sabes que no te creo, es difícil creerlo. Ya no todo el mundo está hablando de eso.
Sí, pero yo no hablo de eso.
¿Y por qué no?
He visto mucho espectacular.
De las cosas relacionadas que se habla de esto es el Mundial de Qatar. Muchos deportistas dicen que jugar...
A ver una cosa, a ver.
Speak about FIFA, I don't care about FIFA. Qatar.
Yeah, this guy missed the opportunity of a lifetime. But Graziano Pelé wanted to punch a reporter at number 9.
Really? You can tell that by my face? I think this is a big disappointment that you talk this way to me.
After losing at home to fierce rivals Ajax, Feyenoord striker Graziano Pelé stood for his post-match interview looking visibly angry. So when the reporter started asking dumb questions, Pelé had no option but to put him in his place.
The people here in Rotterdam, they would have expected more like a killing mentality, but not a real passion, not a mentality that I would have expected.
Maybe. You can come to the trainer if you want next week. We invite you of Feyenoord. You can tell us your mentality, how to win the game against Ajax.
I will.
Which team you support?
Sorry?
Which team you support? You know?
I support nothing.
Nothing? I think you support Ajax. Anyway.
Really? Why do you think so?
You have a face that you are Ajax supporters. Anyway.
Really? You can tell that by my face? I think this is a big disappointment that you talk this way to me.
So you talk the same.
But at number 8, Michael Olise gave a masterclass on answering post-match questions. After an impressive performance against West Ham,
he takes that one out.
Michael Olise delivered one of the funniest interviews I've ever seen. Just watch.
Just talk us through it.
Through what, the goal? I think both passes the ball, shot, score.
Nice and brief. And what's the feeling like when the ball does hit the back of the net?
It's a good feeling.
Do you feel you deserved it overall?
Talk about a man with few words. But the player at number 7 talked his way into a $50,000 scandal. In 2005, the Bundesliga was thrown into chaos when it was discovered that referee Felix Zweier and some other guys were involved in match fixing. However, Zweier blew the whistle about the whole operation and has since slowly rebuilt his career. But after some controversial decisions in Dartmouth's 3-2 loss to Bayern, Jude Bellingham had a little too much to say about the referee.
Well, for me it wasn't, he's not even looking at the ball and he's fighting to get it and it hits him. I don't even think he's looking at the ball, but, you can look at a lot of the decisions in the game. You give a referee that's, match fixed before the biggest game in Germany.
The German FA responded by slapping a $50,000 fine on the young player. After seeing what happened to Jude, Van Dijk decided to be smart with his responses. During the Euro semi-final between England and the Netherlands, the Three Lions were awarded a controversial penalty that shouldn't have been given.
To have that given against me is a penalty.
It's Harry Kane. It's 1-1.
The referee in this game was Felix Zweier, the same man Bellingham was fined for speaking badly against. So after losing to the English 2-1, One reporter asked Van Dijk a silly question.
Are you happy that a referee who had been banned for match fixing was taking part in this semi-final?
Oh, you want to get me in trouble?
No, but it was a talking point before the game.
He did our game against Romania, and I think that game he was all right, so you don't want to get me in trouble. That's for you guys.
And now that we're down to our last 5, we're about to take things to a whole new level. Starting with Pep Guardiola making a fool of everyone in an interview. Ahead of the Champions League match between Bayern Munich and Benfica, Pep Guardiola was supposed to have his pre-match press conference in German language. But when the time for him to speak came, this happened.
Guten Abend, buenas tardes. Influye poco porque si piensas que tienes que reservar un resultado.
This is what happens when I maintain a 7-day streak on Duolingo. But at number 4, Roy Keane lost his cool for the unlikeliest reason. During the 2010 World Cup qualifier between France and Ireland, a blatant handball by Henry ensured that France qualified for the finals of the World Cup in South Africa. This obvious corruption made every Irishman all over the world angry. So when Roy Keane was being questioned about the incident, this happened.
I think it was his instinct. I think sometimes you go for the ball, you stick your leg out, your hand out, whatever it might be. Would I call him a cheat? No, I wouldn't think so. I think, did he bend the rules a little bit? Yeah, but we see cheating going on all the time in games. Players dive in. When I'm asked about it, I say, yeah, the game's full of it.
But should it be stopped, the cheating?
Yeah, of course. Nobody wants to cheat. Whose phone is that? That's the second time it's gone off.
No idea, it's my phone, sorry.
Why don't you turn it off? You're sitting there, that's the second time it's gone off. Why don't you put it on silent? Well, why don't you turn it off?
Well, I'll turn it off in a minute. You're
just going to let it ring?
No, I'll let it ring out.
All right, that's good manners.
But you have to feel bad for the journalists who thought getting Mourinho angry was a good idea.
Headed goal written in. Tottenham Hotspur lead at Old Trafford, and Harry Kane scores here. A few options in the middle. Lucas Moura's there. Lucas Moura, he's been outstanding tonight. Is he going to get another? Lucas Moura still going. It is brilliant.
After the Spurs defeated his Man City team at home, Mourinho was expectedly angry about the result. So when a reporter asked him an annoying question, this happened.
Yeah, I'll do the same. Losing 3-0. So keep trying. Keep trying. Do you know what this means? 3-0. But also mean 3 premierships, and I won more premierships alone than the other 19 managers together. 3 for me and 2 for them. Respect, man, respect.
You could hear the tears in his voice. Which reminds me of De Bruyne's episode with the reporter. After a keenly contested match between France and Belgium, an 84th minute goal was all it took to knock the Belgians out of Euro 2024. Upset by such a heartbreaking loss, a reporter got him more angry with this question.
But what is a golden generation? Yours. And you say that France and England and Spain and Germany is not a golden generation? Okay, thank you.
But even this is nothing compared to Pochettino's clash with the journalist.
One press conference. You stop the press conference.
During a match between Chelsea and Everton, Chelsea players Palmer, Noni, and Jackson embarrassingly clashed over a penalty kick.
Got heavily caught first of all. Maduek is desperate to take this, argue with Jackson.
The APP, the offside has been checked. And have a look at it as to who will take this. Nicholas Jackson.
You're 4-0 up and you're arguing between yourselves. What is going on here?
Madueke storms off in a huff. Nicholas Jackson likewise.
So despite winning the game 6-0, all the journalists wanted to discuss was the disgraceful incident between the Chelsea players.
First of all, I want to tell you that to make clear that they know, the player knows, the staff know, the club know, that the taker is, on penalties, is Cole Palmer. All that happened after is a shame. I am so upset about the situation.
But having had enough of the same question, Chelsea coach Pochettino walked out to the most disrespectful comment a reporter has ever made.
Thank you. Thank you. See you later. And then we can talk about the game. You all own one press conference.
You stopped the press conference. We didn't stop the press conference. You stopped the press conference.
No, the first question was in this way was
shit management of a press conference.
Now imagine if this journalist said that to Sir Alex. What would have happened? But even disrespecting a coach doesn't annoy fans as much as a bad VAR call. You have to see the 20 worst VAR decisions in history. First, an awful decision made Ronaldo quit football. In a crucial World Cup qualifier against Serbia, Cristiano Ronaldo thought he had scored the goal to send Portugal to the World Cup. Unfortunately, the referee forgot to wear his prescription glasses. But the guy at number 29 invented goal line technology. With England losing 1-0 to the Germans, Frank Lampard grabbed a well-deserved equalizer, only to be brutally disallowed by the referee.
Lampard! Brilliant! It was in now! That surely crossed the line!
But the goal at number 28 was scored by a ghost?
Oh, here it comes. Oh, that's an excellent goal. He just
Keep an eye on where the ball goes. It looks like a perfect goal, right? But the replay shows the ball actually went in via the side of the net. Still, the referee allowed the goal to stand. This reminds me of when a referee helped Liverpool win the Champions League. A few minutes into the 2005 Champions League semi-final, Liverpool took the lead against Chelsea under controversial circumstances.
Is that a penalty? Luis Garcia's in there. Does that cross the line? The Liverpool fans think it has. What a start by Liverpool. Luis Garcia.
While the Liverpool players celebrated, their Chelsea counterparts protested for one simple reason. The replay showed that the ball didn't cross the line, but the referee miraculously allowed it anyway. Eventually, Liverpool held on to win the match, and when the referee was asked why he allowed the goal to stand, this was his excuse.
Here I come. Oh, here I come.
Now look at the replay again. Do you see where the goalkeeper took out the Liverpool player just as he was about to score? The referee said that since that was a penalty, he allowed the goal because Liverpool would have scored anyway.
What the hell?
However, we all know a penalty isn't a guaranteed goal. But the error at number 26 gifted Manchester City the Premier League. With the 2022 Premier League title on the line, a clear handball by Rodri should have given Everton the chance to equalize against Man City.
That was the arm of Rodri. Strong appeals here, and it must be looked at. That looks like an arm of Rodri. And
But the referee and his assistants turned a blind eye and handed Man City the win.
He's not given it. They have not given it.
Listen to what the Everton manager said about the incident.
And to think that Chris Kavanagh has not given that penalty. I've got a 3-year-old daughter at home who could tell you that's a penalty. I'm not being funny, Jeff. I don't.
But I wonder what this referee thought when he denied this penalty.
Now on deflection.
No, his hand's on the floor. So I'm back with live. So he's falling down. He's moving his arms in towards him. So it's check complete for me.
Arsenal's captain, Martin Odegaard, turned into LeBron James in the penalty area.
Hey, Howard, well, what's your take on that one? I thought it was a penalty.
What didn't reach the right outcome on that basis.
Still, instead of awarding the spot kick to Liverpool, the referee kept screaming at VAR that it wasn't a penalty.
Check complete, yes. Confirming the on-field decision, no penalty.
The crazy part is, this wasn't even the first time a referee messed up this way. During a match between Real Madrid and Dortmund, a Dortmund free kick clearly struck Cristiano Ronaldo on the arm. But the referee, who was standing close to the action, said it wasn't a handball.
Castro's free kick after 3 minutes. Aubameyang it is. Now is that handball once more? Surely it was.
But the GOAT pulled off his biggest robbery when he faced Bayern Munich. After losing 2-1 to Madrid in the first leg, Bayern Munich needed to score twice to reach the Champions League semifinals. Robert Lewandowski scored first to put the Germans in the lead. However, Cristiano Ronaldo scored to equalize the game on the right.
Kept on going, fed it for Ronaldo! Of course!
After Sergio Ramos's own goal forced the game into extra time, the match was turned on its head when Vidal was controversially sent off. But the biggest talking point was the 2 goals Ronaldo scored.
Ronaldo! That's terrific. That's Ronaldo. That's the tie. That's a perfect hat-trick and a perfect Bernabeu night.
Now look at this. Ronaldo was standing in an offside position when he received the ball, but it was allowed to stand for some reason. For the second goal, Ronaldo was clearly ahead of the ball when he received Marcelo's pass. Under normal circumstances, that goal should have been disallowed for offside. I guess that's why they call him VAR Drid. But the referee at number 22 almost ruined an 18-year-old boy's life. In a match between Arsenal and Wolves, a tactical foul by 18-year-old Miles Lewis-Skelly resulted in one of the most bizarre red cards in Premier League history.
In from right.
This decision became one of the most heated debates in football. 9 out of 10 times, that's a yellow card. But referee Michael Oliver decided to send the defender off.
Cannot believe that.
However, the referee at number 21 ruined his career because of one bad decision. After a surging run by Kylian Mbappe, the referee stopped the game to send Diego Carlos off. No one knew why the referee was sending him off until the replay showed something crazy. While the counter-attack was on, Carlos mistakenly collided with the ref. Upset by it, the referee tackled Carlos back, and when the ball stopped, he sent him off for the incident. But this is just 10 out of the 30 worst referee decisions. Wait until you see the punishment Neymar got at number 11. But before we get to that, let's take a look at one of the most corrupt penalties ever. During a match between Galatasaray and Adana Demirspor, the referee gave a penalty for this disgraceful dive.
Mertens geldi. Hamleyi yaptı.
Ve yerde buldu kendini.
The VAR summoned him to review the situation, but he still decided to stick to his original decision. Upset by the referee's bias, the Adana players decided to leave the pitch. Imagine Premier League teams doing this each time a referee robs them. But the guy at number 19 orchestrated one of the biggest robberies in Champions League history.
A referee from Norway is the strongest official.
After a goalless draw at Camp Nou, Chelsea welcomed Barcelona to Stamford Bridge, confident of defeating their Spanish rivals. This assumption proved accurate, as Michael Essien gave the Blues a well-deserved lead. But the problem started when the referee denied Drogba a clear penalty.
Lampard has helped it through, and Drogba controls. He's gone down, the referee looked at...
Then, a clear handball by Peake was also waved away by the referee.
Handball against Piqué, the referee says no. Does he move? Terry, Eto'o broke from him.
With seconds remaining in the game, Iniesta broke Chelsea's hearts with this dagger.
But it's Messi. It's Iniesta! And the Chelsea fans cover their eyes in horror. 2 minutes from time.
However, Chelsea got one last chance that should have been awarded a penalty.
Chip was up there and got ahead to it. Ballack has a roll appeal. And the referee says no, confronts him out to appeal in his direction. Just as he has insisted.
After such a disgraceful performance by the referee, the Chelsea players were understandably angry.
Players have to keep their heads as well. There's no doubt about that. A referee from Norway is the strongest official.
However, this wasn't the only time referees in the Champions League favored Barcelona. With Arsenal winning against Barcelona on aggregate, Robin van Persie was sent off for shooting at goal 1 second after the whistle was blown.
Fabregas. Van Persie is off.
Just look at his face. He couldn't believe what had just happened. This decision altered the game's course as Arsenal lost badly. After the game, Van Persie had this to say.
My opinion, it was a total joke, the sending off, because how can I hear his whistle with 95,000 people jumping up?
1 second between the referee whistling and you striking the ball.
But this way, 1 second from his whistle till my shot is just a joke.
But I wonder what the referees saw when they disallowed the goal at number 17.
Darren England thinks red card.
In a match between Liverpool and Tottenham, Luis Diaz scored a wonderful goal, but was wrongly flagged for offside.
Salah does want the flag. Diaz keeps going. What a finish!
Since there was VAR, they decided to have a look. Listen to what they said.
2D line on the boot.
Yep, okay.
Perfect.
Yep.
Off.
Thank you, mate.
Wait. On-field decision was offside. Are you happy with this? Yeah. Are you happy with this? Offside
goal. Yeah.
On-field decision was offside. Are you happy with this image? Yeah, it's onside. The image we gave is onside.
Left back. He's played it. He's gone offside.
Delay. Ollie's saying to delay. Ollie's saying to delay. Delay the game. Stop the game.
They've restarted the game.
The decision is offside.
Cut anything.
After obviously confirming it was a goal, the referee still disallowed it. But if you think this is bad, wait until you see what the referee did at number 16. During a match between Arsenal and Chelsea, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain prevented a certain goal with one of the silliest handballs you'll ever see.
And he's teed up Hazard! Oh, it was almost three. The appeal is handball.
But when the referee came to send him off, he gave the red card to Gibbs. The last time I saw someone this confused was when my girl caught me cheating. But at number 15, a referee almost took a player's life. In the World Cup final between the Netherlands and Spain, Nigel de Jong decided it was the perfect opportunity to try his kung fu skills. And after seeing him almost take a player's life, the referee only gave him a yellow card. But as bad as this was, it is nothing compared to what Ben Thatcher did. After Man City's well-defended corner, Ben Thatcher and Pedro Mendes ran towards the loose ball. But as soon as they came close, this happened.
Yeah, it's got to be on the brink of a red. Because the ball's gone and he's come through late.
You could see Mendes pass out as his teammate called for help. But after witnessing all that, the referee deemed it a yellow card offense.
What the hell?
A player should be sent off whenever they commit a dangerous offense. However, the referee at number 13 officiates using a different set of regulations. During a match between Arsenal and Man City, Mateo Kovacic dangerously tackled Arsenal's captain from behind. The referee, Michael Oliver, figured the tackle wasn't worthy of a red card and gave him a yellow. Kovacic did the same thing a few minutes later and should have gotten a second yellow card, but the referee waved play on. When Arsenal complained about the incident, they were told Kovacic wasn't given a red card because Michael Oliver didn't want to ruin the game.
Now this one might surprise you. You see,
the Miles Skelly incident, and now this. Oliver might actually have an agenda against them.
And that's the referee. A blatant bit of cheating there. He had the chance to send off Kolovic, never did. Yeah, never did. And I wanted to keep the game going and everything like that. It's a calamity because there's something not right.
Take this, because you remembered it at the end of the season, and then we're going to go on and we're going to win the league. We are going to win the league.
But the referee at number 12 didn't need any agendas. He just messed up badly. This happened in a match between Croatia and Australia. Croatia's Simunic received his first yellow card after a silly tackle at the edge of the box. Then, when the Aussies launched a counterattack, Simunic followed his opponent yet again, and he received a second yellow card. Now look at this. The referee forgot to give him a red card. And Simunic just played along like everything was fine. But instead of keeping his head down, he tried fighting the referee after a decision he disagreed with. The referee gave him a third yellow before finally sending him off. It's safe to say this referee didn't pass his math exams. But I wonder how the next referee got his license. With PSG leading 1-0 against Montpellier, Neymar wanted to entertain the fans with a rainbow flick. But the referee, who is a killjoy, gave him a yellow card. Booking a footballer for playing football? This might be the silliest decision I've ever seen. Now that we've made it to our top 10, let's take things to a whole new level. Like the time a female referee gave an assist, or Michael Oliver messing Arsenal up again. But before we show you all of that, one referee almost cost a player his neck. During a match between Italy and Uruguay, Luis Suarez took a bite of Chiellini's neck.
And he headbutted him there, didn't he? Luis Suarez appeared to move his head.
I mean, this isn't Thanksgiving dinner. An offense like that should result in a red card, right? However, despite Chiellini showing the bite marks to the ref, he ignored it and didn't even give Suarez a yellow card.
Did Suarez apologise? Of course not. He behaves in a f***ing way, and FIFA allows him to do so because they need the champions to play. They don't have the courage to make the right decisions.
Thankfully, he didn't get away with this madness. FIFA reviewed the incident and handed Suarez a 4-month ban from all football-related activities.
Luis Suarez is suspended for 9 matches and banned for 4 months from any football-related activity.
But the referee at number 9 should have gotten a suspension for his blunder against Liverpool. In a match between Liverpool and Man City, a clever corner kick by De Bruyne was bundled in by John Stones to give City the lead.
De Bruyne goes near post, and Manchester City have squeezed it in. They've caught Liverpool.
But after McAllister drew Liverpool level from the spot,
Yes, penalty Liverpool. Just on one leg, and McAllister scores wonderfully well.
the Reds kept attacking to try and get the winner. Then, with the last action of the game, this happened.
Luis Diaz jumps and Manchester City deal with it. Doku trying to clear. Salah. Liverpool wants a penalty.
This was a clear foul on the Liverpool player. And since it happened in the Man City box, it should have been a penalty. But I cannot understand how the referee saw this and waved play on. The same way I couldn't explain why Bellingham's goal was disallowed.
And City have got away with one there.
After going down 1-0 to Man City, Jude Bellingham stole the ball from Ederson for Dortmund's equalizer. But the referee blew for a foul against the midfielder.
Ederson to get that one away. He's lost it to Bellingham.
However, the replay showed a completely different image. Bellingham legitimately won the ball. But when Ederson realized his blunder, he fell to the ground shouting. And since the whistle had already been blown, VAR couldn't get involved. But after helping Man City rob Dortmund, the referees had to balance things out with them. With the match between Man City and Tottenham locked at 3-3, Haaland was fouled while trying to receive the ball on the counter. However, he got back up immediately to put Grealish through on goal, only for the referee to blow the whistle.
Cross comes in, and it's still kept alive, but now they've lost it, and Rodri plays it to Haaland. Oh, dreadful challenge, gets away with it because Haaland kept the ball, and on it goes to Grealish, and Grealish is down the middle, and the referee has blown his whistle. Oh my word, what a shocker!
The Man City players and coach were furious, and rightly so. Yes, it was a foul, but with Man City through on goal, he should have played the advantage. This reminds me of a referee's terrible mistake in the Champions League semifinals. After playing a 2-2 draw in Germany, Real Madrid were confident of progressing to the Champions League final against Bayern Munich. But when the game started, Madrid quickly realized Bayern were no pushovers. Then, in the second half, Bayern went into the lead via Alphonso Davies. The German team held their lead, and it looked like Madrid would be eliminated. But 2 quick-fire goals from Joselu put them back in the driver's seat. With virtually the last chance of the game, De Ligt thought he had scored a historic equalizer, only to be flagged offside. However, the replay showed no offside in the build-up. But since the referee blew the whistle before he scored, VAR couldn't intervene. But at number 5, Michael Oliver continues his historic battle with Arsenal Football Club. In a match between Arsenal and Manchester City, Arsenal battled from 1-0 to lead 2-1 heading into halftime.
Into the penalty area. in. It's a really good one. It's in! Gallagher's got his head to it, and Arsenal have taken the lead.
But with seconds remaining, Michael Oliver sent off Arsenal's Trossard for kicking the ball away. Remember, this was the same referee who refused to send off Kovacic against the same opponents. But at number 4, a female referee gave the perfect assist.
There's no point complaining, Felix Kraus. That's just the way it goes.
This happened in a German second division match. A referee accidentally provided the perfect assist.
For their equaliser, 10 minutes to go. Firstner tries to clear, it's come off of Bibiana Steinhaus. Dözen, and it's in! My word!
But instead of canceling the goal due to interference, she allowed it to stand. Yeah, she definitely had bets on the side. But the referee at number 3 robbed an entire country. In a crucial World Cup qualifier between France and Ireland, the Irish, against all odds, led 1-0 deep into the match. With everything on the line, Thierry Henry turned into a basketball player just to get the win.
Trying to measure it. Richard Dunn last night. Oh, Henry! Oh, it's in the net. It's a goal. He's not the back to Gallas and it's easy, but that's a handball, no question about it. Absolutely.
That's clearly a handball. But the referee and linesman decided to take a holiday mid-game. But the referee at number 2 did something no one had ever done. During a match between Tunisia and Mali, the Tunisians were hunting for an equalizer when the referee suddenly ended the game. Now, the crazy part is that there were still 5 minutes of normal time left, not to mention additional time. This sparked a wild protest by the Tunisians, and to calm things down, the ref ordered the game to continue. Then, in the 89th minute, the referee ended the game again. This is wild. Bro's pull-out game must be real strong.
Il siffle la fin du match, il nous demande d'aller au vestiaire. Tous les joueurs ils font le bain de glace pendant 35 minutes. Après, il vient et il nous demande de revenir sur terrain. Il siffle à la 89e minute.
Bon, nous, on nous a dit de nous mettre sur le terrain parce que le match était pas. Malheureusement, l'équipe adverse n'a pas voulu faire sa prise.
Ça fait 30 ans que je suis dans ce domaine et j'ai jamais vu une situation.
But now, it's time for the worst referee decision ever.
Penalty has been given.
We're back again in the German second division. While trying to get an equalizer, the Bochum player dragged his shot wide. Instead of resuming play with a goal kick, the referee signaled there was a VAR check. But for what?
For the equalizer. And Sylvain Janvula's got it. That is a wonderful.
Now, look closely. The player warming up controlled the ball before it went out of play. And for that reason, the referee gave a penalty.
Well, the home side being told to wait for their Eberwein has been found guilty and a penalty has been given. So Janvula, who missed the initial shot, has scored the penalty. It's 1-1. One of the most bizarre moments.
My goodness! That was hands down the craziest penalty I've ever seen. If VAR is this bad, why not stop using it? Just like FIFA banned 14 football tricks forever. You have to see them. Starting with one of the most controversial penalty kicks in Premier League history. In 2017, the Premier League match between Leicester and Manchester made the headlines for all the wrong reasons. During the game, Riyad Mahrez thought he had scored the equalizer from the penalty spot, but the referee brutally ruled it out. Now, this looked like a perfectly good spot kick, but there was something wrong. Mahrez had broken a rule. Fast forward 6 years. A similar thing happened in a match between Fulham and Newcastle. Fulham striker Alexander Mitrovic thought he had scored from the penalty spot, but the referee canceled it because of the same bizarre rule.
What?
So when I dug into why the goals were disallowed, I discovered something interesting. According to the guidelines, touching the ball more than once while taking a penalty is considered an offense. So when Mahrez and Mitrovic slipped, they kicked the ball against their other foot, which is why the goals were canceled. But if this rule doesn't annoy you, wait till you see the South African trick that has been banned. You've probably seen clips like these before. It's called the Cassiflava, and it originated in South Africa. But as cool and entertaining as this is, FIFA seems to have a problem with it, especially when a player does this. Sorry, I meant this. According to the rules, standing on the ball while it's in play is considered illegal, and should a player do it, the referee has the right to blow for a foul. But at number 12, a skill move got a player banned from football. In the early 2000s, many Brazilian talents took European football by storm. We had the likes of Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, and Ronaldo de Lima, all superstars at their respective clubs. But while these Samba boys were tearing it up in Europe, their compatriot, Carlan, made a name for himself back home. He invented a skill in which he bounced the ball on his head while running past defenders. This move became an overnight sensation, with fans sharing clips of it around the world. But there was a problem. During a league match between Atlético Mineiro and Cruzeiro, Carlan performed his signature move while his team was winning. But before he got far with the ball, a defender completely took him out. The defender who fouled Carlan was banned from football for 4 months, and to avoid a repeat of this, FIFA banned the trick forever. However, Carlan's move was just a modified version of a skill that had been previously banned. For the unks watching this video, I'm sure many of you remember clips of Ronaldinho and Maradona juggling the ball and resting it on their heads and necks. Kids back then loved these and did the same thing whenever they got the chance to play football. Well, it's called the head and neck stall. But as cool as it might be, it has been banned and will never be seen in a professional football game. But this is just 4 out of 14 tricks that have been banned forever. Trust me, you have to see Neymar's famous battle with FIFA at number 1. But before we get to that, let's visit France to see the most outrageous yellow card in football history. During a match between PSG and Nantes, Marco Verratti received a pass from his goalkeeper. With no good option to pass to, he returned the ball to his goalkeeper. But as soon as the keeper picked up the ball, the referee rushed in and gave Verratti a yellow card. Verratti, his teammates, and everyone else in the stadium wondered what his offense might have been. So I decided to do some research and discovered a rule. However, he wasn't the only player who didn't know about this regulation. With managers encouraging players to press for the ball high up the pitch, it has become normal for defenders to pass the ball back to their goalkeepers, who, depending on how it comes to them, choose to clear the ball or catch it. However, in a match between Inter and AS Roma, Inter won a free kick close to their penalty box. So to avoid being put under pressure, Ivan Perisic flicked the ball and headed it back to his goalkeeper. Upon doing that, the referee blew his whistle and gave him a yellow card, just like it was given to Verratti. This brings me back to the research I did earlier. The rules state that a player should in no way try to manipulate a back pass to the goalkeeper. Once he does, the referee has to blow for a foul and book him for unsportsmanlike behavior. At this point, I think the guys at FIFA invented a phrase to try and ruin football, because the next trick that has been banned falls into the same unsportsmanlike category. The psychological battle between goalkeepers and players during penalties is usually insane. The players try to trick the goalkeepers while they, in turn, try to put them off their game. We've seen goalies execute successful mind games against Messi. Benzema,
Up steps Benzema, and he saved it. He saves it again. So,
and even Cristiano Ronaldo.
has to score really. And doesn't. Diego Alves with the save, and it stays at 2-0. A defining.
But during the 2022 World Cup, Emiliano Martinez took mind games to a whole different level. In the 2 penalty shootouts Argentina participated in, Martinez was a problem, doing all sorts of things to distract his opponents. Well, it worked, as he made crucial blocks that led to victory in the final. However, after seeing Martinez succeed with his antics, FIFA called an emergency meeting. They concluded that goalkeepers must remain on the line, facing the kicker, between the goalposts, and without touching the crossbar or net until the ball is kicked. They also said that goalkeepers must not behave in a manner that fails to show respect for the game and the opponent by unfairly distracting the kicker. Wow! They might as well put mannequins in place of the keepers. But one thing we can all agree on is that time wasting needs to be banned. When a team is winning a football match, the entire team begins to behave weirdly. You see players taking too long to get up after a foul, goalkeepers taking too long before a goal kick, and some players do silly things just to waste time. This tactic is as old as football, but lately, teams have turned it into a habit of choice. During the 2018 World Cup, the ball was in play for an average of 55 minutes. The same thing happened in the 2022 World Cup with an average of 59 minutes. In all of its wisdom, FIFA figured that adding crazy extra minutes would encourage teams to play, but it only made the situation worse. They even thought about a start-stop clock like the NBA. But that didn't make sense either. So with FIFA out of ideas, the MLS devised a brilliant plan. If players are injured for more than 15 seconds, they will be forced to leave the field for 2 minutes, except for head injuries, goalkeeper injuries, and other serious injuries. Players who are substituted must leave the field within 10 seconds. Otherwise, the player coming in will be delayed for 1 minute. If this works in the MLS, we might finally have a solution to this problem. But as bad as time wasting is, it is nothing compared to the trick that comes next. Football is a winner-takes-all sport. Most of the time, no one really cares how you win. So long as you're not caught, you can get away with anything. This mentality gave birth to Maradona's iconic Hand of God and some deliberate fouls. But we can all agree that diving is one of the worst forms of cheating on a football field. In the past, players would fall in the 18-yard box after very little contact. This often resulted in very soft penalties being awarded. It became so rampant that FIFA instructed referees to issue a yellow card for any player caught diving. However, it didn't stop the players from doing it. It was a risk worth taking, considering the reward of a penalty should the referee buy it. So in 2017, the English FA created a panel to review the numerous diving incidents. After their meeting, they decided that any player caught diving would be banned for 2 matches. Everton's Oumar Niasse became the first victim of this new rule change. However, the introduction of VAR relaxed the rule, as the referees had additional support to catch any potential foul play. But now that we've reached our top 5, you're about to see some banned tricks you didn't even know existed. Let's begin with one of Ronaldinho's favorite moves. Ronaldinho is the undisputed king when it comes to flicks and tricks. He made kids like me and you fall in love with football. Although most of his skills were allowed on the football field, one was banned before he even used it. That's the knee lock. FIFA decided doing that in a professional football match is unsportsmanlike, which is annoying when you visualize Ronaldinho using this skill in an actual game.
No, 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 hell no, no.
But we can all agree that the trick at number 4 should stay banned forever. Many street ballers love to trap the ball with their shirts and flip it around quickly. It looks cool, but imagine if someone did this to a defender in a real game. It would be crazy. So to avoid anyone having funny ideas, FIFA decided you cannot do this in a real match. They said if you attempt to run with the ball like that, your shirt becomes an extension of your hand, which comes with a complimentary yellow card. However, one player tried breaking the shirt catch rule and found out immediately. Players now use it to announce their spouses are pregnant. But at number 3, FIFA banned the greatest free kick in football history. The league match between Coventry and Everton was the hottest topic in 1970. During the game, a free kick was awarded to Coventry, which was played about 25 meters from the goal. While everyone waited for a shot to the post, Willie Carr suddenly gripped the ball between his heels, flicked it into the air, and then this happened. The move took everyone by surprise. It was something that had never been seen on a football field. The next day, the kids started practicing the move, which was awarded the BBC Goal of the Year. But FIFA didn't appreciate this genius move, so they declared an emergency and banned it from football for life.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
However, a Mexican player modified this technique into his signature move. Blanco would wedge the ball between his heels and leap over tackles. This move became so iconic that it was named the Bunny Hop. Slowly but surely, the officials are killing creativity with all these rules. But I wonder what their reasoning is for banning this next trick. It all began in the match between Barcelona and Athletic Bilbao. With his team already winning, Neymar attempted a rainbow flick, resulting in him being assaulted by the Bilbao players. But instead of punishing the behavior of the Bilbao players, Neymar was criticized for showboating. Then it happened again, this time against Celta de Vigo. And Neymar was called out for disrespecting his opponents. In France, Lucas Paqueta was booked when he attempted one, and Neymar was also booked for his rainbow flick against Montpellier. However, this ban hasn't been made official yet. But from the body language of the referees, you know they've been asked to punish players for rainbow flicks. Now that we're at number 1, you are about to witness the time Neymar gave FIFA officials a heart attack. After breaking into the scene at Santos, Neymar immediately became a worldwide sensation. Fans from all over tuned into the Brazilian league just to watch him play. So while chilling with his friends at the club, Neymar made a shocking discovery. He quickly left his buddies and headed straight for the training ground. The result was this. Neymar had hacked penalties, and no keeper in the world could stop him. So after scoring 5 penalties in a row, FIFA called an urgent meeting and banned it from football forever. Still, FIFA might be banning tricks at will, but one thing they can't do is stop referees from making bad calls. I'm talking about the worst referee decisions in history. Click on the next video to see them.